There's no place like home, and for the first time in over a month, the Bucks are back in Bismarck, taking on one of the hottest teams in the IFL, the 6-1 Frisco Fighters. It's all coming up right now on Beck Sports. Welcome inside the Bismarck Event Center, everybody. Alongside the IFL Hall of Famer Robert Fuller, I'm David Sugarman. It's the Bucks' first home game since June 12th, and the Bucks have had a dramatic makeover since then, highlighted by two new quarterbacks, former Mizzou and Clemson Tiger Kelly Bryant and former LSU and Robert Morris quarterback Caleb Lewis. Coach, what can we expect out of the offense today with these two guys seeing action here for the first time?
Well, it's going to be interesting for sure. You know, they both got a little bit of a taste on the road last week, and, you know, to be home, I think Coach Miller wants to establish the run and put their quarterbacks in a position to be successful with the short passing game.
The Frisco Fighters are 6-1 in their first year in the IFL, and a lot of that has to do with the defense. Best rushing defense in the league, giving up the least amount of total yards per game. Coach, easier said than done. How does Rod Miller and the offense attack this defense today? Yeah,
their defense is built off of athleticism. They fly around, so when you're facing a team like that, the best thing you could do is get body on body and run right at them.
It's the Bucks and the Fighters. We got a good one coming up here from the Event Center after the Farmers Union Insurance pregame show.
Poem Design is your shop for specialized and meaningful home decor. Nothing makes a house a home like personalized designs that celebrate your milestones and tells your family's unique story. Check out our e-commerce site to find signs, photo prints, and much more. Let Poem's cutting-edge technology create unique products to help you add your personal touch to any space. Visit poemdesign.net to shop our catalog today.
Bucks football is presented by these fine sponsors: Aramark, Dakota Community Bank and Trust, Dickinson State University, Torger Sonato Center, Stone Home Brewing Company, and West River Chiropractic.
Since 1908, H.A. Thompson & Sons has helped thousands of buildings run comfortably through the hottest and coldest weather in North Dakota.
Now, our guaranteed maintenance agreements for heating and cooling systems keep your equipment running efficiently, reducing costs, and providing consistent comfort. Preventive maintenance doesn't cost, it actually saves, and we'll show you how to save money and improve your comfort.
Working together, we'll find ways to help your building and budget with our custom maintenance plans.
Call us today, H.A. Thompson & Sons.
Bucks football is presented by these fine sponsors: Action Motorsports, Bill Barth Ford, Glenn's Welding, H.A. Thompson & Sons, Taco Del Mar, and Veracity Motors. Bucks football is presented by these fine sponsors: Hoo Hot Mongolian Grill, Jiffy Lube, Hawk Tree Golf Course, Moss Adams, Premier Property, and Shields.
A beautiful view of scenic downtown Bismarck as the Bucks are set to host the Frisco Fighters here at the Event Center. Welcome inside the broadcast, everybody, alongside the IFL Hall of Famer Robert Fuller. David Sugarman on hand for a good one here between the Bucks and the Fighters on the Farmers Union Insurance pregame show. For all your insurance needs, contact your local agent or head to www.fumic.com. The Bucks and the Fighters, the only two teams in action tonight, but let's take a quick look around the IFL, see what else is going around the league this evening. Duke City taking on Northern Arizona. Arizona visiting Massachusetts, and the Sioux Falls Storm and Green Bay Blizzard doing battle. That's your look around the IFL, presented by West Dakota Chevy. Bucks 5-5, Fighters 6-1. We're going to take a short break for the national anthem. Come back with your keys to the game and kickoff right here on Beck.
Presenting the Stars. When no one else is around. champions get to work. They never rest. Never settle.
Power up your fun this summer with the $110,000 Power Payouts at Prairie Knights Casino. We're giving away $11,000 in cash plus comps and free slot play prizes every Sunday. Cash prizes up to $10,000. And all you need to do is play your favorite games to qualify. And don't miss Lance Burton, Master Magician and Friends live at the Prairie Knights Pavilion on July 17th. Prairie Knights Casino and Resort. Feel lucky tonight.
What I enjoy most about working with ID is the team that we've built. I love the people that I work with. We spend a lot of time in this building, so the people in this building have become my family. We hang out at work, we hang out outside of work, and it's a great family atmosphere here, and that's what I enjoy the most. If you're not doing something that you enjoy doing, then don't do it at all.
Poem Design is your shop for specialized and meaningful home decor. Nothing makes a house a home like personalized designs that celebrate your milestones and tells your family's unique story. Check out our e-commerce site to find signs, photo prints, and much more. Let Poem's cutting-edge technology create unique products to help you add your personal touch to any space. Visit poemdesign.net to shop our catalog today.
Every day we rise, bend, twist, walk, run, doing the things we love. They are simple until they are not. If pain is holding you back from simple tasks like work, playing sports, or spending time with loved ones, West River can help you get the pain relief you need to enjoy the things you love. Take the step to a happier, healthier life by calling us today, or go online to westriverchiro.com. West River Chiropractic, family, wellness, athletics. We are proud to be the official team chiropractor of the Bismarck Bucks.
Bucks football is presented by these fine sponsors: Aramark, Dakota Community Bank and Trust, Dickinson State University, Torger Sonato Center, Stone Home Brewing Company, and West River Chiropractic. Bucks football is presented by these fine sponsors: Blue Hot Mongolian Grill, Jiffy Lube, Hawk Tree Golf Course, Moss Adams, Premier Property, and Shields. Bucks football is presented by these fine sponsors: Bank Communications Cooperative, Shields, Pure Country, Runnings Farm and Fleet, Taco Del Bar, Gluten Property Management.
We welcome you back to the Bismarck Event Center. 6-1 Frisco visiting 5-5 Bismarck here on Beck Sports with the IFL Hall of Famer Robert Fuller. David Sugarman on hand here for the Bucks' first home game in over a month. Bismarck chomping at the bit to get back here in front of their home fans. And with that in mind, let's see what the Bucks boss, head coach Rod Miller, has in mind today with our Eventide Senior Living Community keys to the game. They've been empowering older adults to thrive for nearly 70 years with locations all across the state. Let's start with the visitors, the Frisco Fighters, going against this Bucks defense that is known for a strong secondary, and knowing that, the Fighters have come out and said they really want to establish the run today, Coach.
Yeah, that's important, especially in indoor football. I feel like the team that has the most yards running is the most efficient running the football, usually ends up winning.
On the other side of things, over the last two first quarters in 2 straight losses, Bismarck's being outscored 26-6. How do they get off to a better start today?
Well, kickoff's supposed to be at 6:05. That's when they should start instead of waiting until after the first quarter. But you know, again, they from a coaching standpoint, maybe they can manufacture some things. Try to start with that key player too that you feel is going to result in a touchdown. Try to get that early score right away.
our Eventide Senior Living Community Keys to the game. Find out more information at eventide.org. Let's round out our Farmers Union Insurance pregame show with our Proceed player matchup. Need seed, think Proceed. Couple of great receivers on both sides. Manny Arsenault, longtime CFL veteran, first year in the IFL, had 33 yards and a couple of touchdowns last week. And wide receiver Andre Williams playing his first home game with Bismarck in his debut last week in Massachusetts. He messed around to the tune of 66 yards and 3 receiving touchdowns. Expecting big things out of both of those gentlemen today. That was our Proceed player matchup. Again, need seed, think Proceed. Bismarck home for the first time since June 12th. Taking on the only undefeated team on the road this season, the Frisco Fighters, 6-1. They're led by first-year head coach, longtime Arena League head coach Clint Dalzell. Bismarck, of course, led by third-year head coach Rod Miller. The Bucks will kick things off to start this one, trying to snap a 2-game slide.
You know, this is my first opportunity to see Coach Dalzell live. You know, he's somebody that I've admired for a long time. He's one of the absolute best in the game. You know, a lot of coaches, you know, have master's degrees at this level. He has a PhD. He is so good. And, you know, his coaching staff, you know, top to bottom, they have a lot of experience and a lot of winning experience.
Kick is away, and we're off and running. Joel Dullery picks it up off the bounce. Good return inside the 20-yard line, and it'll be good starting field position for the Fighters.
Fighters on the 16-yard line.
You know, you got to be a little concerned if you're the Bucks. You know, they didn't maintain lane integrity right there. That's just right down the middle. The return man was able to get the ball right away, and you know, Bismarck had a different person kicking the football, so we'll kind of see how that transpires as this game progresses.
It will be first down and 10 from the 17-yard line. Fighters 6-1. 2 teams, but you'll see 4 quarterbacks today. Fighters been running a 2-quarterback system all year. Jonathan Bain in there to start. Handoff for DeMarcus Felton. He gets a couple of yards. Bain will do the lion's share of the passing today, Coach. We'll see Hurd come in as a runner. How hard is that to prepare for?
It is difficult because you know, Bain can also run the football. So, you know, it really, you definitely spend extra time preparing for both, but you know, really, you know, you've got to play fundamental football. And right there, you know, Frisco was able to get push in the middle of the line. And,
ball is out. Arsenault let it go. Picked up by Duncan. Run back all the way inside the 15. Couldn't have dreamt up a better start for Bismarck. Manny Arsenault, normally the sure-handed veteran, was fighting for the extra yardage, and he paid the price.
Yeah, he catches a slant, and he's reaching out for a first down, but, you know, again, ball security plays an awful big part of being successful in football. And the Bucks, this is a great start, so now they have to answer with the score. They basically just stole the possession, see what they do with it.
Darion Jackson popped the ball loose, and Bismarck will start on the Frisco 14-yard line. Caleb Lewis in at quarterback, his first home game. Hands it off for JT Stokes. Puts it into turbo, into the end zone.
Bucks did a great job with that fly motion. They had everybody on that Frisco defense fooled. So they block it like it's going to the right, and the defensive end did not see the fly motion man catch the foot or get the football.
Bismarck had been outscored 26-6 in their last 2 first quarters, both losses. A little bit of a better start today.
Yeah, absolutely. You couldn't have wished for a better start for the Bucks.
Extra point is up and through. Bismarck with an early 7-0 lead here at home.
Cluton Property Management, the official game ball sponsor of the Bucks.
Our family had problems with hydration, fatigue, and cramping that no product on the market could solve. We knew there had to be a solution, which led us to inventing Cramp Aid. Our elite athletes have reported up to an 80% reduction in water loss when using Cramp Aid compared to other sports drinks. Nature didn't make water colored, so neither does Cramp Aid. Our products contain all natural flavors and are dye-free. Cramp Aid helps your water take you further.
Let's recap. Frisco, 2 plays offensively, 1 turnover. Bucks, 1 play offensively, 1 touchdown. If the game could end now, Bismarck would really be in business. That's not the case, however. Couldn't have dreamt up a better start for the Bucks coach.
Yeah, that's exactly how you want to answer when you're at home. You know, first time back at home in a long time. These guys are excited, getting the crowd into it, but that's a great way to start.
JT Stokes with a 14-yard run off the jet sweep, and that's something that Frisco head coach Clint Dalzell said he was very aware of. They run a lot of motion and love to run the wide receivers. They caught him with it, though, on the first play.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, if you're not going to keep your defensive end home to play that, then you have to have the flat defender, which would be a DB, safety or corner there to make that play.
Marquise Rogers picks it up off the bounce. A little bit of trouble and doesn't even make it out to the 15, taken down at about the 13. So we didn't even really get to talk about the Frisco Fighters much. 2 plays and then a Manny Arsenault fumble on the second play from scrimmage. Fighters have the 2nd best record in the league at 6-1. And to say that's misleading would be disrespectful, but it could easily be the other way around. This is a team that every single game they've played has come down to 1 possession.
Absolutely. When you look just down the list of games, you know, and it says a lot about your team that you can get those wins, but it also says a lot about your team in that you're in really close games and you haven't been able to put anybody away. And, you know, again, looking at that schedule, you know, Frisco has a habit of playing either down or up to their opponent, and that's something that you can't make a living off of.
1st and 10, Bain wants it all. Oh, he had an open man, was looking for Gerard Hurd and just overthrew him. And this is something they like to do. Gerard Hurd, the backup quarterback, they'll put him out at wide receiver now and again.
Yeah, I do feel, you know, you don't have a lot of roster spots available, and when you have somebody that is that capable of an athlete, you've got to get them on the field in other ways. You just can't waste that ability rotating in at quarterback.
Hurd, who played quarterback and wide receiver at Texas, we'll see him some at quarterback tonight as a runner. Bain on 2nd and 10, popped up in and out of the hands of Mark Munson. And the Fighters are lucky it wasn't an early 2nd turnover.
Yeah, they did. They're just looking to hit the hitch here. Receiver bends in the hitch a little bit, and Bain just throws it a little bit more outside. Maybe he anticipated him kind of drifting away from the defender. And they dodge a bullet there.
Fighters coming off a 42-35 win over Iowa. Took a go-ahead touchdown with 3 seconds to go from Hurd to get the win. 3rd and 10 in the blink of an eye. Bain's got time. He's going to make a run for it. And Duncan wraps him up with the help of Jackson. It'll be 4th down and about 4.
Yeah, Bain did not see the dig coming across the field from this right side. It was wide open. He would have had to throw it between the corner and the linebacker, so that was a little hairy, but you know, he decided to be safe with the football there, try to get some yards.
Officially an 8-yard pickup for Bain. It'll be 4th down and 2. It's the Frisco offense that comes into this week 5th in the IFL, right about smack dab in the middle of the 11 teams in the league, at a shade under 43 points a game, and they like long drives and they like to have the football. 1st in time of possession at over 33 minutes a game. 4th and 2, wants way more than 2. Great back shoulder delivery, and Munson rolls on into the end zone. That's an answer.
That is definitely an answer, and beautiful throw. You know, Bain is a very veteran quarterback. He's been in the league for a long time. He's very familiar with this building, but does a really nice job here. The defensive back kind of loses the receiver, and then it's just not in position to make the tackle or down the receiver.
29 yards from Bain to Munson. Munson's 7th touchdown of the season. And we're an extra point away from tying it up. Forget that. Hurd goes in for 2. And the Fighters go up a penny after a disastrous first 3 minutes. That's how quick this game can go. Fighters take their first lead, 8-7, 9:06 to play in the first.
ID Chrysler, the official touchdown sponsor of the game.
So this is a really nice job here by Frisco. If you have a team that doesn't really rush the kick, hey, get that push and make that play. And when you have a coach from the AFL, you know, one thing about AFL coaches is that they were really notorious for playing to win. They never played not to lose. So they're going to take advantage of every opportunity possible.
Fighters head coach Clint Dalzell spent more than a few years in the AFL. 6 years with the Philadelphia Soul, 3-time Arena League Coach of the Year, even past former Washington football team head coach Jay Gruden for 7th all-time in AFL history. But he was pretty open with us talking this week that it's been a big adjustment going from the Arena League to the Indoor League.
Yeah, it's an adjustment, but you know, it's coaches like Dalzell, like Coach Guy in Arizona, when they made the move over, you know, they're going to watch basically every game that's been played for the last couple seasons, and they're going to pick what they like. They're going to be thorough going through the rules of the game, so they're going to be prepared. So yeah, is it different? It's probably different in some regards from a play calling standpoint, but you know, Coach has prior experience in indoor football before he went to the AFL.
Mike Kerrigan picks it up just inside the end zone. Runs into the back of his own man. He's already brought one back, and he's pushed into the wall just past midfield. We've got a flag that came in just after the play.
I think they're waving it off. I believe he said there's no foul for an illegal block on that play.
So Bismarck will start with the football on the Frisco 24-yard line. Their first drive, 1 play and a touchdown. 14-yard run from JT Stokes after forcing the early turnover. And it's our second look at quarterback Caleb Lewis in his second game in Bismarck. Frisco got up quickly, and Lewis just got it away. Lewis talking to the officials now, and there is a flag on the play.
We got the flag on the play.
Offside, number 58 defense, 5-yard penalty, we played it down.
Officials might have had their pick of the litter here on Frisco.
Yeah.
It's officially called on Donald Lewis, so now it'll be first down and 5 from the 19.
You know, one thing you notice about their defensive line, they are very, very good, but they're not really big. A little similar to Bismarck's defensive line, so they utilize the get-off. They try to get off on the football, get off on the snap as quickly as possible. Obviously, sometimes a little too quick.
Not big, but they're stingy, giving up the least amount of rushing yards and total yards per game in the IFL. Lewis fakes the handoff. Oh, and he gets upended. Servell Ford, first one in on the action, and Lewis is slow to get up.
It was a nice job by Lewis here. Reading the defensive end, was getting upfield, so he kept the football. But one thing about indoor football is you got to get down on the ground, or else you're going to get put down on the ground. So hopefully he just got the wind knocked out of him here.
Servell Ford came in low. Cameron Hilton came in high. We'll step away while they tend to Lewis. 8-7 Bucks trail.
There are many gaming choices across the region, but why play games that don't reward you? Instead, join the Night Club, the Players Club at Prairie Nights Casino and Resort. When you use the Night Club card, you earn rewards like free slot play, comps, entries into big giveaways, great discounts, special offers, and more. And right now, you can get in on new member and referral bonuses. Like rewards? Join the club. The Night Club, only at Prairie Nights Casino and Resort. Feel lucky tonight.
Bucks football is presented by these fine sponsors: Hoo Hot Mongolian Grill, Jiffy Lube, Hawk Tree Golf Course, Moss Adams, Premier Property, and Shields. Bucks football is presented by these fine sponsors: Action Motorsports, Bill Barth Ford, Glenn's Welding, H.A. Thompson & Sons, Taco Del Mar, and Veracity Motors.
The good news is that Caleb Lewis was able to walk off under his own power, but it does seem like he's going back to the locker room with the trainers after taking a tough hit on that 1-yard pickup. That means it's Kelly Bryant's turn, former Clemson and Mizzou quarterback, in there for the first time. 2nd and 4 from the 18. Bryant with a pitch out to Rankin. And he maybe gets back to the line. Jacques Boudreau, good defense there from the linebacker. Be interested to see what they get out of Bryant here as we see the Rankin run. Bryant, most known for his time at Clemson, spent 2 years backing up Deshaun Watson before becoming the starter and winning the ACC title in 2017. Ended up going on to play in the college football playoff before transferring the next year to finish out his college career with Mizzou. Back to pass for the first time. In trouble, submarined. Boudreau in there again.
So you can see here that he's got to be decisive, and he's got to let go of that football. He just doesn't have the time that you're going to have maybe in outdoor football. You know, as you mentioned, just reading off his experience and talking about where he's from, you know, obviously it's great to have a quarterback of that caliber here in Bismarck, but, you know, some quarterbacks make that adjustment indoors just a little bit faster than others, and, you know, we're kind of seeing that play out right now.
An 8-yard loss on the sack, and Ryan Victorino, new kicker for the Bucks, out for his first field goal. Wide right. Victorino misses the mark, and with 6:25 to go in the first quarter, the Fighters will take over. So Frisco will come out for their first possession offensively, and they really rebounded nicely on their last drive after turning it over their first time.
Yeah, and I think you're going to continue to see them try to find some holes in the zone coverage of the Bucks. And, you know, if the Bucks are going to give a man, you know, they probably watched a lot of film, you know, against Sioux Falls and, you know, against the Pirates last week, you know, of maybe how, you know, they want to take advantage of that man coverage. You know, they certainly have capable athletes, so it's going to be interesting to see what their game plan, you know, how it evolves as this game goes on.
Fighters from their own 5. Out to Rogers, and he is met by Keith Carter and Moa for about a 5-yard pickup.
Yeah, just a little swing pass here. It's basically, that's essentially a run play. You know, it's just like run and toss, getting your ball carrier out on the perimeter. You know, good hustle and pursuit by the Bucks defense.
Fighters coming off the close win against Iowa. Bucks coming off a 5-point loss where they had the ball late, chance to take the lead. Couldn't quite get it done in a 5-point defeat against Massachusetts. 2nd down and 5. Bain looking deep again, off the mark. Was looking for Arsenault.
You know, running that, you know, they wanted to go to that corner route, but, you know, when you're that receiver on that side, there's not a ton of room to work with. You know, maybe that just deep comeback or deep out-breaking route is going to serve them a little bit better.
Bain, new to the indoor game, but been in the Arena League a long time. 7 years, won an NAL title in 2019 with Jacksonville. Stops in Richmond and Colorado. And doing a great job here in Frisco. 18 touchdowns to just 1 pick. Plenty of time on 3rd and 5. Spoke too soon. Knocked down inside the 5-yard line, and it'll be 4th and a mile.
That was a great job by the Bucks secondary, and obviously by the defensive line, just just collapsing the pocket. But that secondary was locked in.
He was ultimately knocked into by his running back, DeMarcus Felton, and you got to imagine when they're going to the sideline, if they get this stop, there's going to be a heated discussion with the statisticians about who gets that sack.
Right. Yeah.
So it's 4th down and 14. Christoph Martinez in there for the field goal try. And Martinez gives it his best go. Hendrick picks it up. Hendrick looked like he was calling his shot almost. And he's taken down just past the 10-yard line.
Yeah, he didn't have a lot of room to work with. Frisco did a nice job just covering that up, making sure that there was no lanes for him to get through.
3:35 to go in the first quarter. Fighters 8, Bucks 7. We'll step away for the media timeout.
We look forward to serving you here at your local community bank.
Every day we rise, bend, twist, walk, run, doing the things we love. They are simple until they are not. If pain is holding you back from simple tasks like work, playing sports, or spending time with loved ones, West River can help you get the pain relief you need to enjoy the things you love. Take the step to a happier, healthier life by calling us today, or go online to westriverchiro.com. West River Chiropractic. Family, wellness, athletics. We are proud to be the official team chiropractor of the Bismarck Bucks.
Turd Burglar, the official sponsor of the Deuce Rule.
3:35 to go in the first quarter. Kelly Bryant out for his first full possession at a quarterback. Bucks trailing by a penny, 8-7. They'll have 1st and 10 on their own 13 after the missed Frisco field goal. And a flag before the play, movement on the line. Frisco's already been called for offsides once. However, this one might be on Bismarck.
Illegal snap.
One thing that gets tough with multiple quarterbacks is trying to have the same cadence. So we're seeing a little bit of their timing thrown off.
Both these teams going with 2 quarterback systems right now. Frisco's been doing it all year long. First home game in over a month. These 2 quarterbacks were not on the Bismarck roster at that last home game. Caleb Lewis and Kelly Bryant. Caleb Lewis went back to the locker room with an injury. He is back on the sideline right now. However, it's Kelly Bryant who's in there. Last week in his first game against Massachusetts, 6 carries for 70 yards. Just threw the ball once. 5-yard completion. 1st and 15. Bryant complete out to Stokes, and he takes a good hit. Williams and Boudreau in on the stop. Just shy of the 15-yard line.
Now, again, we saw another delay with the snap, and, you know, when you're running kind of these fly motions and some different things motion-wise, you know, that really messes up the timing. So hopefully they can get a little bit of a rhythm going here.
You can see Caleb Lewis back on the sideline. He did the lion's share of the passing last week in Massachusetts. 14 of 23, threw for 3 touchdowns and just 1 pick. 2nd down and 9 after the 6-yard pickup. Bryant gets rid of it, out to Stokes again. And it'll be a manageable 3rd down.
You know, one thing that Bryant's going to want to do is he's got to get get his hands on that football and get that release sped up a little bit, to throw basically a curl route. That ball needs to get there as that wide receiver breaks and starts working back, and just, the longer that, your receiver has to wait for that football, more chance that a Frisco defender is going to be able to make a play on it.
It'll be 3rd down and 3 after the 6-yard completion. Bryant was candid this week. He said indoor game's a whole lot different than from what he's used to. 3rd and 3, under pressure, going deep. Stokes, touchdown, Bismarck. JT Stokes, touchdown number 13 of the year, and the first for Bryant in a Bucks uniform.
Now that was a really beautiful play. He knew the rush was coming, but he kept his eyes in the secondary and on his wide receiver, and basically he was just he was able to shuffle just a little bit, just extend the pocket. Beautiful throw by Bryant.
Victorino can't complete the extra point, but the Bucks take the lead back, 13-8.
Mattress Firm, the official timeout sponsor of the Bismarck Bucks.
Kelly Bryant only threw 1 time last week, 3 for 3 on that drive, including this beauty 32-yard touchdown to JT Stokes, his 2nd of the night.
That's a nice job by Stokes as well. It's kind of scramble rules. If you're short and the quarterback, something breaks down and the quarterback's rolling out a little bit, he just simply went long, and a touchdown was the result.
And you could argue that before, with the tandem of Richard Stametti and Glenn Couillette, while they did a fine job for Bismarck, they were missing a quarterback who could give them both the athleticism and the arm at times.
Yeah, it's tough to be at this point in the season and completely change your quarterback room, but from a talent standpoint and just potential standpoint, I just feel like, no disrespect to the guys that were doing it before, but just the ceiling just feels a lot higher.
Dullery returns it to just shy of midfield, and with 1:09 to go in the quarter, Frisco will come back out. Frisco offense that's 5th in the league at 43 points a game, and really in the middle in most categories. Towards the bottom of the league in passing yards, but this is a team that likes to run first, 4th in the league in rushing yards. 1 touchdown drive today, but the Bismarck defense has come out with a purpose, already forced 1 turnover. Bain under center. Hands it on the end around for Gerard Hurd. And they find ways to use this backup quarterback in an awful lot of ways. About a 7-yard gain there.
So one thing I'm noticing right away about Frisco is their offensive line is very athletic, and they run really, really well, which might explain why they're really good at running the football. So I think this is a drive where you might see them just settle in and say, hey, let's do this one on the ground.
Second down and 2. Bain gives it for Felton, and a good job by the Bucks meeting Felton at the point of attack, and it'll be 3rd down and short to start the 2nd quarter. Metronome style quarter, back and forth we went. Bismarck up by 5. We head to the 2nd.
Since 1908, H.A. Thompson & Sons has helped thousands of buildings run comfortably through the hottest and coldest weather in North Dakota.
Now, our guaranteed maintenance agreements for heating and cooling systems keep your equipment running efficiently, reducing costs, and providing consistent comfort. Preventive maintenance doesn't cost, it actually saves, and we'll show you how to save money and improve your comfort.
Working together, we'll find ways to help your building and budget with our custom maintenance plans.
Call us today, H.A. Thompson & Sons.
High drama here in Bismarck. Start of the second quarter, Bucks lead 13-8. Today's game on Beck brought to you by Farmers Union Insurance, Dakota Community Bank, West Dakota Chevy, Bell Bank, BASF, and Beck. Alongside the IFL Hall of Famer Robert Fuller, David Sugarman on hand here for Beck Sports. And Coach, we were just discussing during the break, normally Frisco is a team that likes to run, and then run some more and maybe sprinkle in some pass. It was kind of the opposite in the first quarter. Why do you think that is?
Yeah, I think, them being on the road and kind of seeing what the Pirates were able to do in the passing game last week against the Bucks secondary, I think they wanted to be able to try and get a couple quick scores, and kind of jump on Bismarck, but, they've just not been able to connect. And, now they're in a dogfight heading into the second quarter.
3rd down and 1. Bain in the shotgun. Hands it off for Felton, and he bursts through the line past the chains. Pickup of about 3, maybe 4, either way. It's enough for a Frisco first down.
So one tough thing about Felton, he's not the biggest guy back there, and he can kind of get lost behind that big offensive line. But one thing I do like what I'm seeing from the Frisco offensive line. Again, I like that they're physical. I like that they can move. They have good feet. They're aggressive. And I like that they play aggressive, but not cheap. You're going to win a lot of football games with an offensive line like that.
1st and 10 from the 13. They give it to Felton again. He finds a crease, and he finds himself a touchdown. DeMarcus Felton came into the game tied for 2nd in the league in rushing touchdowns. There's an example why.
Yeah, he doesn't appear to be the biggest back, but man, he runs really, really hard. And if you look here, there's 1 broken tackle, 2 broken tackles, kind of a half-hearted effort there, and the Bismarck defense, hey, if you're going to tackle this guy, if you're going to try to limit his impact, man, you better get helmets on that guy.
A touchdown. After the play, delay a game offense for putting the ball into the stand. It's a 5-yard penalty that will be enforced in the bank.
So the 5-yard penalty goes in the bank. In other words, will be enforced after the kickoff. So Bismarck will get a little bit better field position. One of the more unique rules in the IFL. If you're the home team, give away as many footballs as you like. If you're the road team, give them back to the official. Yeah. Martinez on for the extra points. Up and through. Fighters go up by a deuce. Clint Dalzell happy with his group. Still plenty of work to do though, early second quarter.
Our family had problems with hydration, fatigue, and cramping that no product on the market could solve. We knew there had to be a solution, which led us to inventing Cramp Aid. Our elite athletes have reported up to an 80% reduction in water loss when using Cramp Aid compared to other sports drinks. Nature didn't make watercolored, so neither does Cramp Aid. Our products contain all natural flavors and are dye-free. Cramp Aid helps your water take you further.
ID Chrysler, the official touchdown sponsor of the game.
DeMarcus Felton in the end zone for the first time today. You've talked about his great offensive line, but he did the lion's share of the work there, Coach.
Yeah, absolutely. Not the best effort in terms of tackling or angles. And hey, he's got He's got some wheels. He can make it happen. So I can already see why he's ranked where he's at in terms of rushing touchdowns.
A 13-yard score, his 14th of the season. Last week he had a 44-yard rush. That was tied for the longest in the IFL this season. Talked about the rushing game being the Fighters' bread and butter. Got away from it in the first quarter, back to it early in the second, and the Fighters lead by a deuce. Martinez set to kick off. Hendrick and Kerrigan back to return. Kerrigan off a couple of bounces. Going up the sideline, picked up a great block. And Martinez just got him into the wall. A good effort by the kicker. Otherwise, Kerrigan might have just had a touchdown.
I tell you what, Kerrigan might lead the IFL in returns called back.
We saw a big block right around where the flag is at the 20-yard line.
During the return, personal foul for an illegal blindside block, return team number 32. Half the distance to the goal. Thereafter, the 5-yard penalty in the bank will be enforced. First down, Bismarck.
So an illegal blindside block, you should be looking for number 32, Darion Jackson. Came flying into your screen right there.
Yeah. So usually, you know, if a block like that, you know, obviously the emphasis these days is definitely on player safety. They want to try to avoid the blindside block, but, you know, sometimes what's the difference between a blindside block and a kick out? You know, he's crossing that formation. That's somebody, he might have been lined up on the left side of that return, kicking out his man responsibility on the right side. So again, you know, is it a blindside or is it a kick out block?
The Bucks get a little help with the in-the-bank penalty. 1st and 10 for the 15. This is where Bryant's dangerous. He picks up about 4. That was a designed run, but throughout the week, Coach Miller said one of Bryant's real strengths is when the play breaks down. 6'4", 220, and boy, can he run.
Yeah, he has got just tremendous size and athleticism. He's very dangerous with the football in his hands. You know, that's not, you know, primarily what he wants to do, but to have that skill set and ability is pretty much a prerequisite in indoor football.
Bryant 3 for 3, including a 32-yard touchdown pass on his last drive to JT Stokes. Only threw the ball once last week in his debut. Came in for an injured Caleb Lewis today, and he's playing well. 2nd and 5, he opts to keep it and picks up maybe 2. Boudreau on the tackle.
You know, one of the guys I'm watching, kind of the coaching eye right now, is the new center, Boyd. You know, coming in from Howard University, you know, as you said, started a ton of games there, but I just feel like I can see an immediate impact that he's having. And I've always had this philosophy: if you're going to be a winning football team in the indoor football league, you've got to look like vertically down the line of scrimmage through your center, your quarterback, your running back, your nose guard, your linebacker, and your safety. If those positions are rock solid, you're going to be a very successful team.
Hand off to Rankin. He picked up the 1st down and a couple more. Boyd started 46 straight games over at the HBCU. Was 2016 All-MEAC first team. As Rankin picks up about 4 plus the 1st down.
You know, and if he can get push, which is something that they've struggled with a little bit, but if you can get push from your center position, your backside guard, that's going to be something that Rankin is going to be the beneficiary of, because he's going to get some touches and he's going to be able to get some really nice carries there.
And Rankin's role may be even more amplified with 2 new quarterbacks added to the roster in the last few weeks.
Timeout. Bismarck, it's their first time out of the half.
As we've got our first time out of the game, Bismarck wants to talk things over, trailing by 2, 11:08 to go in the quarter. We'll step away.
Power up your fun this summer with the $110,000 Power Payouts at Prairie Nights Casino. We're giving away $11,000 in cash plus comps and free slot play prizes every Sunday. Cash prizes up to $10,000. And all you need to do is play your favorite games to qualify. And don't miss Lance Burton, Master Magician and Friends live at the Prairie Knights Pavilion on July 17th. Prairie Knights Casino and Resort. Feel lucky tonight.
BetConnect, the official communications provider of the Bismarck Bucks. BetConnect, the official replay sponsor of the Bismarck Bucks.
Welcome back to the event center. Bismarck trailing by a deuce, 11:08 to go in the first half. Bucks just picked up a first down, just a yard inside Frisco territory on the 24-yard line. Saw Caleb Lewis get hurt midway through the first quarter. It's been Kelly Bryant in at quarterback since, doing a good job. 3 for 3, 1 score, no turnovers. Play action, not a lot of time. And he is sacked by a whole host of fighters. It was Malcolm Goins Sr. on the celebration. Jacques Boudreau in there as well.
This is, I noticed Bismarck was looking, they tried to run this play a couple times in when they were playing the Pirates and had very similar results. It's just that play action and the linebacker is blitzing. You know, Bismarck didn't do the best job picking it up, but they don't have an extra man for that linebacker. So it's just really tough for the quarterback to turn his back to the defense and then turn around and try to find his targets.
12-yard loss on first down. More time for Bryant. Now he's in trouble, shovels it for Rankin, flag on the delivery. Rankin still shimmying all the way inside the 20. However, there's a flag all the way back inside the 10.
Looks like they're going to get a hold.
Holding, number 77 offense. Half the distance from the previous spot, replay second down.
That catch and run is negated by the penalty. That'll remain second down.
So looks like Sterling Clark is being called with the holding penalty. I don't see it. You know, I do have my bias towards offensive linemen. I just saw effort there. I didn't see a holding penalty. Obviously, I didn't have, you know, the best angle, but I didn't see it on the replay.
I'm sure if Sterling Clark went up to the officials and let them know how hard he was trying, they might pick the flag up.
Yeah.
So from 1st and 10 to 2nd and 31 in the blink of an eye. Bryant in trouble over the middle. Lucky that wasn't picked off. Great coverage in the middle by Joel Dullery and Cameron Hilton.
Yeah, definitely Frisco had that thing locked up again, bringing massive, just massive pressure, putting massive pressure on Bryant. You know, 3rd and a country mile to go, and they're not backing off. You know, they have faith in their defensive backs, and they are just, you know, they've got a dog at linebacker, a guy that's really fast, really athletic, and they're just going to bring the heat on the new quarterback.
The intended target was Lorenzo West. 3rd down and long. Bryant tucks and run. He's got some room, and he makes it out to about the 17-yard line to make it 4th and a little more manageable.
Yeah, that's a tough ask. You know, there's just not a ton of plays in the playbook for 3rd and 31. But, you know, Bryant does a smart thing and just, again, pulls it up, gets what he can get here, and just kind of gives his guys an opportunity here to try to get some points on the board. And this is definitely one area as far as special teams go that the Bucks have really struggled with the last couple weeks.
Victorino 0 for 1 today. And the newest Bucks kicker 0 for 2 on his first 2 tries about midway through the second quarter. 8:15 to go in the half. Frisco leads 15-13. We'll take a break for the media timeout.
Our family had problems with hydration, fatigue, and cramping that no product on the market could solve. We knew there had to be a solution, which led us to inventing Cramp-Aid. Our elite athletes have reported up to an 80% reduction in water loss when using Cramp-Aid compared to other sports drinks. Nature didn't make water colored, so neither does Cramp-Aid. Our products contain all natural flavors and are dye-free. Cramp-Aid helps your water take you further.
Power of of your fun this summer with the $110,000 Power Payouts at Prairie Nights Casino. We're giving away $11,000 in cash plus comps and free slot play prizes every Sunday. Cash prizes up to $10,000. And all you need to do is play your favorite games to qualify. And don't miss Lance Burton, Master Magician and Friends live at the Prairie Nights Pavilion on July 17th. Prairie Nights Casino and Resort. Feel lucky tonight.
Today's game on Beck brought to you by Farmers Union Insurance, Dakota Community Bank, West Dakota Chevy Dealers, Bell Bank, BASF, and of course, Beck. About halfway through the second quarter, 15-13. Fighters on top. Frisco going to get the football back after a missed Victorino field goal. And coach, it feels like both these teams have had great flashes at times, but have struggled to find any form of consistency offensively.
Yeah, that's for sure. You know, obviously with the Bucks, it's a matter of, you know, getting their quarterbacks, you know, the reps. But, you know, for Frisco, one thing that, you know, I've always seen when teams come into Bismarck, especially when they've come from a long ways away, sometimes they start slow. You know, it's just the travel and all the considerations that you have in terms of travel. But, whoa, that's a nice play right there.
Jackson lights up Felton on first down. Maybe a 2-yard gain.
Well, that's probably the best way to attack him. It's a nice play call there where he goes to chip the defensive end, but, you know, they've obviously shown that on film a number of different times. And the safety was right there to eat it up, Big Duncan.
Second down and 8 from the 7. Bain 4 for 6 for 42 yards and a score. Hands it off this time for Hurd. And he's taken down by Jackson and Williams just shy of the 10-yard line. Gerard Hurd, a guy who reminds you a little bit of a Taysom Hillside with the New Orleans Saints.
Yeah.
A quarterback who is the backup, so they'll also put him at running back and wide receiver.
Those guys are so valuable, especially in indoor football, like I've mentioned. Just with the smaller rosters, you know, you've got to have guys that can do multiple things, and you know, to have a player like that is such a luxury for Coach Dozell.
Hurd, a former quarterback and wide receiver at the University of Texas. Third down and 6. Bain's got time. Looking for the home run ball. He's got Munson.
It's a really nice job by Munson just going up and grabbing that football. The defender had a little bit of an opportunity. He was there. I mean, it was tight, but Munson just snatched that out of the air. High pointed the football. Sorry, great catch.
37 yards from Bain to Munson. Munson's got 2 catches for 66 yards and a score. The former Arizona Rattler playing well. First down and goal from the 5. Pitched out to Felton. Did he hammer his way home? Not quite. Was put into the wall first.
Yeah, I thought for sure he was about to get in there. Just, again, that angle. When you go to tackle him, you can't tackle him high. I mean, he just ran over the defender there, but Bismarck lucked out that he hit the wall on the way in.
Second down and goal from the 1 in the win against Iowa last week. Frisco was 6 for 6 in the red zone. Bain trying to do it himself. And he's in. Jonathan Bain, he's only running 1 touchdown all season. But the QB shows a little toughness and gets in to give the Fighters their largest lead of the first half.
Yeah, I think Dozell wanted to get Bain a score in here, maybe on the ground, kind of a little homecoming gift for him. But again, nice job again by the offensive line. Frisco likes to spread guys out there in the red zone and just punch it in behind that big offensive line.
Martinez knocks the extra point through, and Fighters lead by 9. Bain, a former Buck in their CIFL days, gives them a little Homecoming. Fighters up 9.
Bucks football is presented by these fine sponsors: Action Motorsports, Bill Barth Ford, Glenn's Welding, H.A. Thompson & Sons, Taco Del Mar, and Veracity Motors.
This was the play that set up the Fighters. Bain with plenty of time hit Mark Munson for 37 yards, and a couple plays later, Bain, the former Bismarck Buck, coming back to North Dakota and fighting his way in from a yard out, and the Fighters lead by 9.
Yeah, Bain joined the Bucks. It was, one of those early seasons. I might have been the first season, but I remember him joining the Bucks late in the season, and it was just he was an instant impact for the Bucks. Heck of a player from Dakota Wesleyan down there in South Dakota.
Kerrigan trouble with that rolling ball and barely gets outside the 5-yard line before he's taken down by Ford. Bain's had an impact wherever he's gone, been in the indoor and arena game for a long time. Won a title with Jacksonville in 2019, stopped with Bismarck in Colorado, played his college ball at Dakota Wesleyan, originally from Temple, Texas, and now playing for the Frisco Fighters and playing well. One of the best decision makers in the IFL. Just 1 interception in 7 games this year. The best among IFL starters. And now after leaving the game midway through the first quarter with an injury, quarterback Caleb Lewis back in there for Bismarck. First down and 10 from the 6. A lot of early movement. Lewis just got rid of it so he wouldn't get hammered.
Yeah, when you see a quarterback kind of display that body language, you know that maybe there's just maybe a little something more than just getting the wind knocked out of him. He might be a little tender, but it's good for the Bucks
Legal
to
defense.
have him back.
The defender came out of his stance prior to the snap. It's a 5-yard penalty. Replay first.
So no identification on who exactly it was, but an illegal defense call. And so now it'll be first down and 5 from their own 12-yard line. Caleb Lewis in his second game with Bismarck, spent 2 years with LSU, didn't see much action, and then transferred to finish his career at the FCS level with Robert Morris. 5 touchdowns and 4 interceptions there in 10 games. Was looking for Stokes off the fingertips.
Yep, just a little high, but in just all the years that I've been around indoor football, it's kind of interesting, to see kind of what makes a good indoor quarterback. A guy that's maybe has kind of been through some adversity. Has maybe transferred. Has played in some different systems. And sometimes there's some guys that maybe they don't have that pedigree in terms of like a tremendous body of work in college, but then they come into the indoor game and just absolutely light it up.
The give for Rankin, and he's met by Boudreau. Maybe got back to the line of scrimmage. And certainly you mentioned the pedigree. 2 very different guys the Bucks brought in, and Caleb Lewis, who just talked about his journey, versus Kelly Bryant, somebody who played in a college football playoff and won an ACC championship.
Yeah. So, we're watching it play out, but, if you're Coach Miller, you got to be happy that you could get 2 men that have, that just have that background, that have that experience. Sometimes it's just hard to get one of those guys to come in, and then now you've got 2 of them. So, hopefully they can kind of develop, their place on this team and develop as players.
3rd and 5 out near the sticks for Andre Williams, and he gets back up, picks up a few more yards. Heads up play by one of the Bucks' newest receivers. Had 3 touchdowns in his debut last week. Makes his first catch of the day.
Yeah, and he definitely introduced himself to kind of Bucks Nation last week with a really, really big breakout game, and I'm sure they want to get the ball in his hands here tonight more than a few times.
19-yard pickup for Williams. Played his college ball at Dean College. Spent some time with the Jacksonville Sharks camp of the National Arena League before making the trip to Bismarck a couple weeks ago. Lewis, home run ball, touchdown! Right on cue, Andre Williams, second game, fourth touchdown.
That was a really, really nice grab by Williams. Nice job by Lewis here. Just throwing it up, a little bit of a back shoulder. The defensive back got lost a little bit. Williams had to go up and high point that football. Just really nice job.
21-yard hookup. And the Bucks have a chance to trim the lead to 2. Victorino's extra point up and good. 57 seconds to go. We'll take the break for the 1-minute warning. Bucks with a 21-yard score to cut the lead to 2.
Since 1908, H.A. Thompson & Sons has helped thousands of buildings run comfortably through the hottest and coldest weather in North Dakota.
Now, our guaranteed maintenance agreements for heating and cooling systems keep your equipment running efficiently, reducing costs, and providing consistent comfort. Preventive maintenance doesn't cost, it actually saves, and we'll show you how to save money and improve your comfort.
Working together, we'll find ways to help your building and budget with our custom maintenance plans.
Call us today, H.A. Thompson & Sons.
Poem Design is your shop for specialized and meaningful home decor. Nothing makes a house a home like personalized designs that celebrate your milestones and tells your family's unique story. Check out our e-commerce site to find signs, photo prints, and much more. Let Poem's cutting-edge technology create unique products to help you add your personal touch to any space. Visit poemdesign.net to shop our catalog today.
Turd Burglar, the official sponsor of the Deuce Rule.
21-yard touchdown from Caleb Lewis to Andre Williams, and maybe almost impressive as the throw was Lewis with a little pump fake, even a shoulder fake, to really get the defense in the position he wanted it, Coach.
Yeah, he's just got a calm presence out there. And, you know, one thing I remember Coach Miller saying in the coaches show is that one thing he likes about Lewis is Lewis knows where he wants to go with the football, and that's pretty apparent.
In his second game with Bismarck, 3 touchdowns and just 1 pick last week. Spent some time with the Duke City Gladiators the first part of the season. Didn't see much time. Already making a big impact here with the Bucks. 57 seconds to go. Bismarck will give it back to the Fighters. Victorino boots it deep. All the way through, and that went through the upright. That should be the Bucks' first deuce of the season. Wow. And the officials just checked and made sure. One of the newest rules in the IFL, with under a minute to go in each half, on a kickoff, if you kick it through the upright, you can call yourself 2 points on the scoreboard. And the Bucks just tied things up. Ryan Victorino in his first game as the Bucks kicker, making an impact.
Wow. Now here's my question. Was that intentional? I have to believe that.
He's certainly telling Cody Barber,
Okay.
his fellow kicker, that right now.
Okay.
That's like when you call bank at the gym. Absolutely.
I'm just going to act like it was intentional. That was an outstanding kick. Just again, especially in this building, to get around that scoreboard. We've got all kinds of things hanging from the ceiling here. So just outstanding kick.
It's almost like a 9-point possession for the Bucks after the touchdown. Now we've got a tie game. Bucks will get the football to start the third. Hurd on the take, and he brings it out to about the 15-yard line, just shy of the chains. A 9-yard pickup. Good job on first down.
Now, offense under a minute left in indoor football, this is where I expect a Coach Dozell team to really flourish. You know, they will try to score with, you know, basically under 6 seconds left if they can.
Bain over the middle, Munson's third grab. And he powers his way inside the 20. Clock will stop to reset the chains.
And they've got 3 timeouts. I think they're going to call one here.
Indeed they will, after an 18-yard pickup. 22 seconds to go, 22 all. We'll take a break.
Every day we rise, bend, twist, walk, run, doing the things we love. They are simple until they are not. If pain is holding you back from simple tasks like work, playing sports, or spending time with loved ones, West River can help you get the pain relief you need to enjoy the things you love. Take the step to a happier, healthier life by calling us today, or go online to westriverchiro.com. West River Chiropractic, family, wellness, athletics. We are proud to be the official team chiropractor of the Bismarck Bucks.
West River Chiropractic, the sponsor of the second half adjustments.
.22s across the board here at the end of the second quarter. Exactly 22 seconds to go, and we are locked at 22 apiece. Frisco with the ball on what they're hoping will be the last possession of the half. Bismarck will get the football to start the third quarter. Just tied the game on a deuce. They'd love to keep it that way. From the 18, handoff for Felton. A short pickup, maybe 2 yards. And Frisco may have just spent their second timeouts.
They did. They gambled a little bit with that run call, but
We have a timeout on the field, second down, and this time.
So 16 seconds to go. We'll keep it right here. Second down and long coming up. You've got 1 timeout to go. What's the offensive philosophy right now for the Fighters?
so now you're throwing the football the rest of the way. Again, you know, if you can get something open, you know, down the middle, great. You know, with at this point, you know, if they throw something along the sidelines, they can get it out of bounds just by holding the ball over the boards or running into the boards, and basically that's just like running out of bounds in outdoor football.
They did just put 1 second back on the clock, so it's a 3-yard pickup to the 16. Second down and 7. Bain in the shotgun, Felt inside, Carl right, now moves to the left. Mark Munson, number 6, been the receiver to watch. Bain's probing, gets away from Moa. And just throws it out of bounds. Was near the line of scrimmage, maybe even past it, and we do have a flag that just came in. At the very least, Bain was right on top of that line of scrimmage when he let that one go.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting to see what this is. You know, Moa's calling hands to the face.
Illegal forward pass. Number 3 offense. That carries a loss of down. Frisco has chosen to use their final timeout to avoid the 10-second runoff.
So a costly
Timeout,
mistake
Frisco.
from Jonathan Bain. With 9 seconds to go, normally there'd be a 10-second runoff. Frisco elects to use their last timeout to prevent that. And take another look here, an illegal forward pass. You have to be behind the line of scrimmage, which was the 16-yard line.
Yeah, you definitely called it, you know, as it happened there. Dozell was really chewing out a wide receiver, and, you know, Bain was hanging on to it because I think the receiver was supposed to do something that he didn't do, whether it was just running a drag, a post, or return, something that they were expecting to have back there on the backside. So, you know, second down, they've still got some time here for, you know, at least 2 plays.
So it'll be third down from the 19, 9 seconds, no timeout for the Fighters. Bain probing, steps up, it's tipped, it's intercepted. Hendrick for the third straight game. Bain, who's only thrown one interception all year long, caps the first half with one.
I think that was a great job by Jackson. Wow. I think he's going to jump up and tip this. An outstanding catch. Great teamwork on that defensive end. And I think the Bucks are going to have 3 seconds here.
There was 1 second, and they just added one more. Bismarck will take their second timeout. We'll keep it right here with just 2 seconds to go. Coach, Bismarck's been trailing a lot of this second quarter. They've fought their way to be tied up right now, and they get the football coming out to start the third. Would you take a shot here, or would you just be content to take a knee and go into the halftime locker room?
Well, I'm pretty used to having some good kickers. So, you know, I'm thinking about maybe, you know, they have the ball on that side, you know, on that left side of the field, you know, looking left to right here. You know, which seems maybe a little odd for a right-footed kicker, but, you know, if that's where they want it, then, you know, but I like this call. I like the call a lot.
Victorino into the scoreboard.
Pretty big object to not see.
So Ryan Victorino, who just went the length of the field to tie it up with a deuce, misses the field goal, but a strong end to the half for Bismarck. In the final 5 minutes, a touchdown, a deuce to tie things up, and then an interception, their second turnover of the half. And we have got a good one going into the locker room. 22 apiece between Frisco and Bismarck. Back with the Farmers Union Insurance halftime report after this.
What I enjoy most about working with ID is the team that we've built. I love the people that I work with. We spend a lot of time in this building, so the people in this building have become my family. We hang out at work, we hang out outside of work, and it's a great family atmosphere here, and that's what I enjoy the most. If you're not doing something that you enjoy doing, then don't do it at all.
When no one else is around. Champions get to work. They never rest. Never settle.
West River Chiropractic, the sponsor of the second half adjustments. Bucks football is presented by these fine sponsors: Aramark, Dakota Community Bank and Trust, Dickinson State University, Torger Sonato Center, Stone Home Brewing Company, and West River Chiropractic. ID Chrysler, the official touchdown sponsor of the game.
Since 1908, H.A. Thompson & Sons has helped thousands of buildings run comfortably through the hottest and coldest weather in North Dakota.
Now, our guaranteed maintenance agreements for heating and cooling systems keep your equipment running efficiently, reducing costs, and providing consistent comfort. Preventive maintenance doesn't cost, it actually saves. And we'll show you how to save money and improve your comfort.
Working together, we'll find ways to help your building and budget with our custom maintenance plans.
Call us today, H.A. Thompson & Sons.
Welcome back to the show. It doesn't take long for most of us to leave our athletic prime post-college. However, for our 50-year-old Bucks analyst, Robert Fuller, he's just getting started.
From former college football player and IFL Hall of Fame coach to high school assistant coach and even television analyst, Robert Fuller's worn many hats over the years. And before you put down that pen, you can add one more: power lifter.
I was at a period of time where, I was managing the Snap Fitnesses in town, and the busier I got as a personal trainer, the worse shape that I got in, and I was really looking for something to get involved in that would help me kind of focus and have some, just a reason to train. And I ended up one day going through Dan's supermarket, and I saw a Powerlifting USA magazine, and I grabbed it, read through it, and 6 weeks later I was doing my first powerlifting meet, and that was back in 2008.
At last month's national tournament in Florida, Fuller finished third in his weight class, ranking him fourth in the world. At this point, it would be easy for Fuller to rest on his achievements. However, the journey that started in the pages of a stray magazine is far from over.
I feel like the only goal that I have left is to represent my country at a world championship. So, in 2019, I won a gold medal at the North American Championship. This year, I'm really blessed with the opportunity to represent the Puerto Rican national team at the Pan American Games here in about 7 weeks. So those opportunities to compete internationally are just really, really special, and I'm making lifelong memories.
In addition to his rigorous training, Fuller dedicates his time as an assistant coach with the Bismarck High football team and helps countless Demons improve their strength training in the weight room. And like all of his present duties, Fuller does it with an unmatched passion.
Being able to work for Coach Gibson and be a part of his staff is just really special. And it's been a great transition from the IFL sidelines, to being on the sidelines at BHS, and just basically being able to see what one of the most historic, high school programs in the state of North Dakota is like and how it's run.
Despite being 50 years old and top 5 in the world in his craft, Fuller continues to reach for new heights, with some of his motivation coming from the fact that he's not just doing it for himself.
It also affords me the opportunity to be a role model for the kids that I work with, and to show them that, age is just a number. If you want something bad enough, you just got to put in the work, and it's a pretty good chance it's going to happen. And then also, I compete as a drug-free athlete, and I want our kids to see that you can achieve some great numbers. You could do some things in the strength game or any type of sport that requires athletic performance. You could do it drug.
Bet Connect, the official replay sponsor of the Bismarck Bucks.
We welcome you back on the Farmers Union Insurance Halftime Report. Locked up at 22 here in Bismarck between the Bismarck Bucks and the Frisco Fighters. With the IFL Hall of Famer Robert Fuller, David Sugarman here for Beck Sports. Great end to the half for Bismarck, and a great start as well. First possession offensively, Darion Jackson forced the fumble. Malik Duncan picked it up, and the Bucks were in business. The defense was really the spark for the offense today, Coach.
Yeah, they're definitely making some things happen, and then just that turnover right there allows the Bucks to punch it in, get off to a quick start.
JT Stokes with a 14-yard touchdown, one of 2 touchdowns for him in the first half. Some good dance moves to go with it. Fighters found a way to respond. Mark Munson had himself a big half, several big catches, and then Bucks secondary fell asleep at the end of the catch, and Munson was able to get into the end zone. And then, tell you what, Gerard Hurd, he's listed as a quarterback. He hasn't played quarterback today, but he's played wide receiver, running back, and you saw him run it in for 2. Then it was Kelly Bryant on the response, able to get it to Stokes behind the defense for that second touchdown we talked about. Seen two quarterbacks in there for Bismarck today. Both have played well. Running game responded for Frisco with DeMarcus Felton getting into the end zone. And this is really what Frisco wants to get back to, ground and pound.
Yeah, and they definitely should start off the second half running the football.
Some issues on the next drive protecting the quarterback. One of a couple of sacks in that first half for Frisco, who leads the league in sacks. And then Bain, pretty spin on that ball, as he got another deep one to Munson, which put them in business. A couple of plays later, Bain called his own number from 1 yard out, and it was 22-13. Frisco with a 9-point edge. However, a strong end to the half for Bismarck. Lewis with the fake, and he finds Andre Williams, who falls into the end zone. Great back shoulder throw, great catch from Williams. Then how about this new kicker, Ryan Victorino, kicks it the length of the field and gets it through the upright for the Bucks' first deuce of the season. Frisco looking for one last score. Darion Jackson forced the fumble earlier, tips the pass. Hendrick brings it in with one hand, and that's how the half came to a close. Locked at 22. Frisco, one of the more frugal teams in terms of taking care of the football. 2 turnovers in that first half. Take a look at the rest of our first half stats. Rushing yards been dominated by Frisco, 58-36, 83-62 in the passing yard category as well. Coach, if I told you you were being outgained by a little more than 40 yards in the first half, and you'd be tied up against a 6-1 team, you'd be pretty happy.
Yeah, definitely take that. And you know, if you tell me I'm going to be tied up at half with a 6-1 team, you know, when you know you're a team that's coming off of 2 losses, you know, that's a good place to be.
Frisco's been in this situation many times before. Bismarck trying to snap that 2-game slide. What needs to happen in the second half for the Bucks to pull this one out?
So, you know, I guess it depends on what happens at quarterback. You know, if Lewis comes back, I feel like, you know, they're going to be able to get into a rhythm. But I'm also curious, you know, if it ends up having to be Bryant, I'm really curious to see what, you know, he can do now that he's got some snaps under center. And, you know, either way, they got to get production out of one of them.
Locked at 22. Less than 10 minutes to go until the start of the third quarter. We'll take a break and come back for the start of the second half. Bucks and the Fighters locked at 22 here in Bismarck.
Our family had problems with hydration, fatigue, and cramping that no product on the market could solve. We knew there had to be a solution, which led us to inventing Cramp Aid. Our elite athletes have reported up to an 80% reduction in water loss when using Cramp Aid compared to other sports drinks. Nature didn't make water colored, so neither does Cramp Aid. Our products contain all natural flavors and are dye-free. Cramp Aid helps your water take you further.
Every day we rise, bend, twist, walk, run, doing the things we love. They are simple until they are not. If pain is holding you back from simple tasks like work, playing sports, or spending time with loved ones, West River can help you get the pain relief you need to enjoy the things you love. Take the step to a happier, healthier life by calling us today, or go online to westriverchiro.com. West River Chiropractic, family, wellness, athletics. We are proud to be the official team chiropractor of the Bismarck Bucks.
Since 1908, H.A. Thompson & Sons has helped thousands of buildings run comfortably through the hottest and coldest weather in North Dakota.
Now, our guaranteed maintenance agreements for heating and cooling systems keep your equipment running efficiently, reducing costs, and providing consistent comfort. Preventive maintenance doesn't cost, it actually saves, and we'll show you how to save money and improve your comfort.
Working together, we'll find ways to help your building and budget with our custom maintenance plans.
Call us today, H.A. Thompson & Sons.
Last week, we dove into the powerlifting regime and background of our Bismarck Bucks analyst and resident IFL Hall of Famer, Robert Fuller. This week, we left the weight room and got into the film room to learn about one of the more unique rules of the IFL, the belt. take a look.
Coach, we're going to learn about one of the more unique rules of the IFL, the belts. We're going to break down a couple of plays here, but first, the belt is not a rule we see at pretty much any other level of football. So explain exactly what is the belt.
Okay, so using our visual here, the belt is a 5-yard area basically that begins at the line of scrimmage, goes 5 yards, it goes from wall to wall, and in that area, you cannot have a defender in that area unless they're directly lined up on a man. So again, this area goes from wall to wall and it disappears at the snap.
Okay, so we've got a 1st down and 10 here. Bucks have the football. Point out where the belt is and how does it come into play for both the defense and the offense.
Okay, so we have it here that the ball is on the 15-yard line, and that's perfect. If you look at the Blizzard defender, the linebacker, he is exactly at 5 yards, which he is allowed to be. Okay, he cannot be at 4-3 unless there are some other scenarios that we'll talk about here in a minute. The defensive back, so the cornerback for Green Bay, is outside of the belt, but he is allowed to come up and press the wide receiver because he would be head up on that wide receiver. So he would be allowed to come into the belt. The safety, because there is no man at that line of scrimmage right now, cannot be inside the belt, but as this high motion receiver comes to the line, he can come up and jam him.
Rules are a little bit different when we get to 4th down, specifically 4th down and short. 4th and 2 right here. Bucks are on defense. This was from the game against Iowa. How do things get a little bit different here for the Bucks defense?
Okay, so on 4th and 2 here, the defenders can line up anywhere on the line to gain, okay, even if there was not a man there. So this linebacker, right now the Bucks have all of their defenders, basically their entire secondary is manned up or playing press. So he's playing off because these DBs here, they're obviously inside those 2 yards, but they're stacked on wide receivers, so that's perfectly legal. And this defender here is waiting for the high motion receiver, as this defender here is also waiting for a high motion receiver, so they can be, inside that 2 yards.
All right, last one here, Coach. 4th down and goal. Things get, again, a little bit different, similar to a normal 4th down, but when you're near the goal line, there's less field, and that means the belt shrinks a little bit.
Yeah, the belt will never go beyond the goal line. So right here, the ball looks like it's about the 4-yard line. You see the linebacker has his foot on the goal line. The uncovered, basically the safety here, there's a man in motion, but he's coming from across the field. So let's say that, everybody likes to run that jet sweep motion. So we see this a lot. If he were coming across the formation here and this defensive back was beyond the line of scrimmage, he would have to back up. So that's another reason we see a lot of illegal defenses when those safeties come up and try to make a play here. But this DB, again, because he's pressed on the corner, he's fine. He's allowed to be inside in the field of play.
Coach, you're a Hall of Famer for a reason. Thanks for teaching us a thing or two today.
Absolutely.
When no one else is around. Champions get to work. They never rest. Never settle.
Turd Burglar, the official sponsor of the Deuce Rule. Missouri Valley YMCA, your official workout facility of the Bismarck Bucks. Bucks football is presented by these fine sponsors: Aramark, Dakota Community Bank and Trust, Dickinson State University, Torger Center, Stone Home Brewing Company, and West River Chiropractic. Bucks football is presented by these fine sponsors: Action Motorsports, Bill Barth Ford, Glenn's Welding, H.A. Thompson & Sons, Taco Del Mar, and Veracity Motors. Bucks football is presented by these fine sponsors: Hoo Hot Mongolian Grill, Jiffy Lube, Hawk Tree Golf Course, Moss Adams, Premier Property, and Shields. Bucks football is presented by these fine sponsors: Bank Communications Cooperative, Shields, Pure Country, Runnings Farm and Fleet, Taco Del Mar, Gluten Property Management, West River Chiropractic, the official chiropractor of the Bismarck Bucks. Missouri Valley YMCA, your official workout facility of the Bismarck Bucks.
Start of the second half here on Beck, brought to you by Farmers Union Insurance, Dakota Community Bank, West Dakota Chevy Dealers, Bell Bank, BASF, and Beck. With the IFL Hall of Famer Robert Fuller, David Sugarman on here in Bismarck. Coach, Bucks couldn't have ended the first half on a better note. Down 22-13, 21-yard touchdown, a deuce, and then an interception when the Fighters were driving. And now Bismarck gets the ball to start the third quarter. How do they carry over that momentum in a win they desperately need?
Yeah, well, I think it's gonna basically be production out of whoever they put underneath the center. You know, they've got to do something with this drive. You know, to be able to get points out of this first drive and have success early in this third quarter will go a long ways, because we know Frisco's game, for whatever's going to happen, you know, if you let them stay in this game and they get a chance to win at the end, chances are they're likely going to win.
You just got to look at Kelly Bryant. Both quarterbacks got ample time in that first half. Caleb Lewis got the start, then got hurt midway through the first quarter. Did end up coming back and playing well. 2 for 3 for 38 yards, 21-yard touchdown pass. Kelly Bryant 3 for 4 for 43 yards, 1 touchdown. He also has a deep touchdown pass of 31 yards. Coach, when you get into the fourth quarter of this game, does it depend on the situation, or do you have somebody who you're already leaning towards wanting with the football late?
Well, basically, you know, I'm thinking, you know, if I'm here with Bismarck, you know, I want Lewis to have that ball, because again, you know, I've seen him produce, and that's who I'd want to go with. You know, the Bucks have no shortage of, you know, great targets at the wide receiver position. You know, and I'd like to see Bismarck be able to get that running game going too in the second half.
Frisco tied up here at the half with Bismarck. But if you're a Frisco fan, you're probably not even stressed. This is par for the course. 6-1, all 7 games have come down to 1 possession. May very well be on the way to another nail biter for the Fighters in their first ever meeting with the Bucks. Thanks so much for joining us today here at the Event Center alongside Robert Fuller, David Sugarman, with the rest of our wonderful Beck Sports crew. Chris Clayton, Patrick Conte, Jesse Schwab manning the cameras. Cole Let's-Go on graphics, and our fearless leader, director back in the studios, Ryan Bradley. Mike Kerrigan and Justin Rankin back to return. Sent away by Martinez, and it bounces out of the back of the end zone.
You know, one thing I'm really interested to see, you know, over in the Frisco locker room, and, you know, and even on that staff, you know, you probably got about 4, 5, 6 coaches that could all be head coaches somewhere, you know. So this game comes down to adjustments. It'll be interesting to see what they're going to do defensively, but then also what they're going to see offensively against that Bucks defense when they get the ball back.
Offensively, 22 points for Frisco, but uncharacteristically 2 turnovers. They've only thrown 1 interception all year, 1 interception in that half, and a fumble on their first drive. First play, Stokes was lit up. Charles Williams in on the stop.
Well, the Bucks got away with that early. They definitely didn't get away with it here. defensive end stayed home. That was a heck of a hit.
Charles Williams, whose great uncle Paul Williams was one of the lead singers in the Temptations. Not maybe quite the same musical talent, but certainly some athleticism from Williams, whose father, Adrian, still playing bass right now with the Temptations.
Well, Williams definitely has a nice step forward, that's for sure.
And Lewis, an incomplete pass. And there is a flag on the field.
Just want to tell you guys knew.
An illegal defense called on the Fighters. Don Lewis, the guilty party, and so Bismarck will get a little bit of breathing room here, come out to about the 7-yard line.
All right.
And you can see there at the end of the line, Lewis got antsy. 2nd down and 8 from the 7. Lewis, home run ball for Stokes. Just a bit too far.
And you could tell again, Lewis knows where he wants to go with this football. Very nice job just sitting tough in the pocket, knowing that he's going to get touched by that linebacker.
Lewis, who took a big shot on a run in the first quarter and was out for a couple of drives, came back late in that second quarter, threw a touchdown. Now he faces a 3rd down and 8. Lewis, time to probe. Over the middle, nobody was home. And now we've got some commotion in the back of the end zone. Lawrence Omalayo's got his helmet off. Don't know if he took it off or it was knocked off. No flags after the play, so good job by the officials to break this up.
Yeah, Bucks ran a dig and a post over top there. Again, routes that, maybe take a little bit, but they were coming from the short side. The corner here on the wide side of the field gave the wide receiver a huge cushion, but the Bucks weren't looking at that. So
Nahu Kimo in for the kick. We know he's got a leg. Saw him hit a deuce at the end of the first half. And this time, good leg, but well wide of the mark. Essentially just a punt.
Yep.
And Frisco will come back out for their first possession of the first half offensively. Frisco outgained Bismarck in every category offensively in that first half. The big difference, though, was they turned the ball over 2 times.
Yeah, and again, those are basically 14-point swings every time you turn that football over. So, ball security is definitely a point of emphasis in the locker room. And I'm really interested to see just, what Frisco's approach is going to be here in the second half, if they're going to be balanced, what they're going to try to do in the run game. I feel like there's definitely some things in the passing game that they want to try to hit.
Bain 6 for 10 with 91 yards, a score and a pick in that first half. 1st and 10, handoff to Felton, and he runs over Duncan on his way to about a 6-yard pickup.
He is such a good runner, and I give him a lot of praise, but I also got to praise his teammates. That offensive line's blocking, his wide receivers are blocking, getting body on body, but for not being the biggest guy out there, he sure runs like he is.
Felton 5'7", 205, the Texas Tech product. Played some time with Patrick Mahomes. This time it's Gerard Hurd. He picks up the first down and then some, and they have had all sorts of trouble bottling him up on those sweep-style plays.
Yeah, it's a nice 1-2 punch in this offense. And what's tough is, when they line up in that spread look, you're protecting against the pass. You're thinking pass first, and then he curbs it in there so fast.
And we've got a player down right now. Did not see who it was. It was near the wall. And we'll take a break while they tend to the injured player. 10:41 to go in the third quarter.
We look forward to serving you here at your local community bank.
Cluton Properties, the official housing sponsor of the Bismarck Bucks.
Zarel Hendrick, Bucks defensive back, was helped off the field after taking a shot at the end of that last play. Was able to walk off largely under his own power. Good to see. Hendrick, who had an interception at the tail end of the first half. Hopefully we'll see him later. 10:41 to go in the third quarter. Fighters moving and on the Bucks 15-yard line. Are you surprised from the Fighters offense that we've seen Gerard Hurd a lot as a runner coming from the wideout position, but normally he takes more snaps at quarterback? Are you surprised that they've stuck with mainly Bain under center today?
Not really, because I just don't feel like they've established what they want to establish. And, you know, maybe when you're not quite in that rhythm that you want to be, you know, the last thing you want to do is pull your quarterback out, you know, and try to provide a spark. I just don't feel like that's within their best interest to do that right now.
They've used Hurd in a number of ways today, including on a two-point conversion, and he's got 3 carries for 20 yards, but it's been Bain doing all the passing. 6 for 10 for 91 yards, 82 of those yards to Mark Munson, number 6. Coming down the right side of your screen. He's blocking for Felton. He finds a crease, gets inside the 10, and he's dragged down by Carter near the 5.
You know, I was talking about him maybe not being the biggest guy on the field, but when you talk about 205 pounds at 5'7", that's a lot of muscle there. So you definitely can see the strength that he has. And again, you know, I mentioned his offensive line right away. His guys are getting pushed and they're running. You know, those guys have good feet and they're trying to run their guys downfield, providing those holes, and they're getting the push that they need up front.
2nd and 1 from the 6. Pitch out to Felton. Gets down the left side, and he's pushed into the wall by Carter. Felton, originally from Houston, Texas, has put up big numbers in his first year as a pro. Tied 2nd in the league coming into today with 13 rushing touchdowns and 5th in the league in rushing yards. Nearly had his 2nd score of the day there.
Yeah, he's definitely going to have success in the IFL. He is really, really good.
1st down and goal from the 1. Bain called his own number their last time down here. This time it's Felton. The easiest 6 he'll ever get. His 2nd touchdown of the game. 15th of the year. Frisco takes the lead back.
Touchdown. This was good coaching here, knowing that Bismarck was going to pinch and kind of favor the wide side of the field. Their big left guard did a really nice job just peeling off on the linebacker, and that was just an easy 6.
Coach, I know you like to talk about your former offensive lineman days, but I think even you could have gotten through that hole.
Yeah, without question. I've been working out a little bit, so those boys up front, you're getting after it. Martinez on the extra point, and he knocks it through. Frisco breaks the tie, 29-22, 8:46 to go in the third.
Back Connect, the official replay sponsor of the Bismarck Bucks.
1-yard touchdown for DeMarcus Felton. And coach, as good as Felton has been, you've given a lot of credit to, and rightfully so. That offensive line has been stellar today.
Yeah, they really have. And again, you know, it kind of starts with the coaching staff. They know the X's and O's aspect. They know what adjustments need to be made there. And then kudos to the players for going out and executing.
Martinez will send it away. Rankin and Kerrigan back to receive. Kerrigan off a few bounces. Finds a crease up the middle. Beats Martinez. Dragging defenders all the way inside the 5.
Hey, no flags.
That's something to celebrate too. Kerrigan with the speed and good blocking out in front. Joel Dullery finally made the tackle. However, it'll be first down and goal from the 4-yard line to start for Bismarck. Caleb Lewis got the start at the beginning of the 3rd quarter. Now it'll be Kelly Bryant, and this is a good place for him to operate as a mobile quarterback, and a big mobile quarterback at 6'4".
Yeah, I wonder if they're not going to try to run that, you know, quarterback ISO or quarterback sweep to the left here.
First and goal from the 4. Bryant gives for Rankin, and he plows near the goal line. JT Stokes is pleading for a touchdown. However, Rankin was just short to be second down and goal near the 1.
Yeah, that's kind of one thing that we forget is they've got Rankin as well. You know, we've talked about the quarterbacks, and, you know, that's obviously a kind of a point of conversation, but you got a heck of a running back in that backfield. You know, you got your offensive line producing. You know, punch it in, just be physical.
Second and goal from the 1. Bryan under center, Rankin in the backfield behind him. Handoff, Rankin gets the pill, gets the score. Bucks an extra point away from tying this thing back up.
It's a really nice play call by Coach Ross there. Frisco stacking the box there. Didn't get the best of blocks on that right side, but just got enough.
Touchdown number 8 of the season for Justin Rankin. Chemo in there to tie it up, and he goes off the upright, and Lawrence Omalayo in our little extracurricular after the fact again.
Yeah.
No flags after the play, and Bismarck trails by a penny, 29-28.
Bucks football is presented by these fine sponsors: Who Hot Mongolian Grill, Jiffy Lube, Hawk Tree Golf Course, Moss Adams, Premier Property, and Shields. Bucks football is presented by these fine sponsors: Bank Communications Cooperative, Shields, Pure Country, Runnings Farm and Fleet, Taco Del Mar, Gluten Property Management.
Chance to tie things up on an extra point off the mark, and then Lawrence Omalayo got into it with a couple of fighters after the fact. No flags either way here. But Coach, we've seen this before. Bismarck's had a couple ejections earlier in the season, not Omalayo, but a couple of other players. In a close game like this, have to find a way to keep your composure.
Yeah, because that's going to make all the difference, you know, and some of the people that have made those penalties over the season aren't here anymore. So in the IFL, especially when you're trying to win at home against a 6-1 team, you just can't. I mean, as tough as it is, you know, you want to play tough, you want to play aggressive, you know, but you can't retaliate.
Kick deep, taken by Rogers, midway through the end zone. Good special teams coverage. And then a flag at the 20-yard line. Devon Keith and Charles Williams getting into it. There was a flag, and then Keith shoved down Williams, but the flag came before that.
Number 11 of the receiving team will be half the distance to the goal. First down, Frisco.
So the flag is on Charles Williams. First of all,
that is number 11,
first
first
one of the newest Bucks,
conduct,
Tony Sparrow.
Yeah, the entire Bucks, I mean, the Frisco return team is not really doing a whole lot but other than watching. But really nice job by Sparrow getting down there and making that sure tackle. And it's a good job by Keith. I didn't see what happened, but, you know, when one guy gets a personal foul, you know, at least he didn't retaliate, and there's offsetting penalties. So, you know, let their guy do what he does and just try not to retaliate.
First down and 10 from the 5. Bain for Rogers, who just had the short return, and he's tripped up. But a good pickup, about an 8-yard chunk on first down.
It's a nice changeup too, getting some other guys involved in that running game that haven't seen the ball yet.
How do you defend this, Coach? We've seen this sweep action for both Rogers and Hurd a lot today, and it's been effective, especially on first down.
Yeah, what makes it really tough is, you know, if the team doesn't allow you to get tendencies. You know, you can coach against tendencies, but when they change it up so much and they're really versatile in who they give the ball to, that makes it really difficult. But probably the biggest thing is you have to have flat defenders that are going to play physical and fight off blocks.
First down from Bain to Rogers. So Rogers with a good start to this drive, a 6-yard run.
And they've had success with this little swing pass here. It's almost like a screen.
First and 10 from the 17. Bain's got Felton sidecar left. Bain for Hurd again. They've had a lot of success with this play. They pick up a first down, but there's a flag back at around the Frisco 20.
Holding. 64 offense. Half the distance to the goal. Go to the 10.
So there, you know, we see that fly motion again, the jet sweep, and you saw the strong safety come up and really attack it, but then there was nobody back there for the cutback.
Jock Johnson, the guilty party, the former Mississippi State Bulldog, takes him a few yards back, and it'll be first down and 17 from the 10. A Fighters team that doesn't often shoot themselves in the foot like this. But a plethora of penalties and 2 turnovers so far today. Bain gives it to Felton at the last second. And he's greeted in the backfield by Devon Keith. Keith comes into today tied for second in the league in tackles for loss. He gets back there in a hurry.
Yeah, Keith is, I really like the body of work that Keith has put together on the season. You know, again, he's not the biggest guy playing that defensive end position, but he has such a great mixture of athleticism, speed, power, and he just plays. I mean, you know, he's not a small guy by any means, but he just plays so much bigger than he is.
A tough young man, grew up on the Shaw Air Force Base in Sumter, South Carolina. Second and 17, play action. Bain tipped, picked off. Jackson's got it. Shedding tacklers, spinning, and finally taken down. Darion Jackson, a forced fumble, a deflection that led to an interception, and now a pick of his own and some laundry after the play.
I still remember, I think when the first time that I saw Jackson get on the field, I just said there's something about him. I mean, he brings athleticism to that linebacker position. I mean, he's making plays that
So we'll step away for a media timeout. An illegal blindside block after the interception, but it will be Bismarck ball when we come back with a chance for the Bucks to take the lead.
West River Chiropractic, the sponsor of the second half adjustments. Bet Connect, the official communications provider of the Bismarck Bucks.
Jonathan Bain had thrown only one interception in his first 7 games this season. 2 so far today. Tipped at the line, Jackson makes the play. The Bucks would have been in business, however, an illegal blindside block at the tail end of that return called on Bismarck, and they'll start with a ball on their own 23-yard line. Coach, this is a Frisco team that takes care of the football. However, 3 turnovers today. What are the Bucks doing?
Well, that one, on that particular play, Ben Moa didn't, he knew he was not going to get to Bain, so he waited for him to throw that football, got those big paws up, and deflected that pass right to Jackson.
Caleb Lewis back in there at quarterback after a series for Kelly Bryant. First down and 10 from their own 23. Lewis with Rankin in the backfield. Touchdown on that last drive. They give it to him on the first play, and he is just pushing the pile. Moving towards the sticks like there's money waiting for him.
I tell you what, when you can get your center to get a scoop on that nose guard, backside guard takes it over, he gets up to the linebacker, then good things are going to happen in the run game.
9 yards on first down. The toughness of Justin Rankin on display. 5'9", 215. Knows how to use every inch and every pound. They give it to Rankin again. Oh, he's shifty. Watch out. Rankin to the end zone. Justin Rankin. You can meet him, but I bet you'll miss him. A touchdown, a Bucks lead, however, a flag after the play.
Yeah, this is just outstanding. To put his foot in the ground and to be able to accelerate on his change of direction. We've seen it a number of times this year. I mean, he has just done an exceptional job.
Result of the play is a touchdown. After the play was over, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 11 offense, that penalty will be placed in the bank and enforced after the football.
So they said there's a penalty on number 11. Touchdown stands. Penalty will be in the bank.
Rankin with a 16-yard touchdown run. Extra point up. And is through. Bucks take the lead back, 35-29 on Rankin's second score of the game.
Bucks football is presented by these fine sponsors: Aramark, Dakota Community Bank and Trust, Dickinson State University, Torgerson Auto Center, Stone Home Brewing Company, and West River Chiropractic. West River Chiropractic, the sponsor of the second half adjustments. Sleep Number, your official sleep partner of the Bismarck Bucks.
Justin Rankin, we have seen this movie before. Known for his strength, but he is so elusive, just Houdini's his way away from a few Frisco defenders, an 18-yard score. Don't like the penalty for taunting after the fact, but 2 touchdowns in this quarter for Rankin.
Yeah, hard-nosed player. Again, you know, when you get a back from Northwest Missouri State, you know he's going to be a baller. I had a few back in the day, and they were really, really good. You know, and he's done a great job for the Bucks. I'd love to see him, you know, if they could get some more production out of that offensive line, you know, I'd love to see him, you know, get more of an opportunity to get involved in the game and be a part of that run game. You know, obviously don't want to have the penalties and extra stuff after you score, but that was a heck of a run.
Kicked away and into the Jumbotron for the second time this evening. First time we've seen that on a kickoff. We saw it once on a field goal, and that will bring the ball to the 20-yard line for Frisco. 2:07 to go in this quarter. This is par for the course for the Fighters. You know, my girlfriend has made me watch quite a bit of those housewife shows, and the one thing that I notice in every episode, no matter what the episode, there is always drama. Not unlike a Frisco Fighters football game. 7 games this year, they've all come down to one possession. No Denise Richards for us today, but I think we're going to have a good finish in this one. And more importantly, it means Frisco knows how to play down the stretch.
Yeah, thankfully I have not had to be in a position where I've watched those shows, but I've watched a heck of a lot of IFL football, and I've followed Frisco, so it's kind of the same thing. Here's what's really costly for the Bucks. You know, they had that penalty in the bank on Rankin, and then they go and kick it right into the scoreboard. So, you know, they basically give Frisco just outstanding field position.
So 2:07 to go in the third. The kick in the Jumbotron would have put it at the 20, plus a 15-yard penalty on taunting on Rankin. So after all that, with just under 2 minutes and counting here in the third, it'll be first down and 10 from the 15. Bain by himself in the shotgun. Off to Hurd, trouble with it, and luckily it bounced right back to him. Frisco, who's already turned it over 3 times today, would have been an awful time for a fourth.
Yeah, they dodged a big-time bullet there. Because usually the Bucks have somebody right there, but the running back was able to get back on that football.
And luckily for Frisco, no loss on the play either, so it'll be second down and 10. Bain fakes. End zone. Munson. Second time today. Mark Munson breaks the 100-yard threshold.
So we got a little bit of, you know, they kind of play action, the swing pass, went back to, they're running double post there. Just a beautiful throw. And the Bucks, you know, I saw prior to the snap, you know, they're communicating, you know, trying to figure out what the coverage is. And they were a non-factor on that play.
15 yards from Bain to Munson, his second touchdown of the game. High snap. Bain able to get it down. Martinez able to get it through. And with just 16 seconds to go in the quarter, Fighters go back up by 1.
Poem Design is your shop for specialized and meaningful home decor. Nothing makes a house a home like personalized designs that celebrate your milestones and tells your family's unique story. Check out our e-commerce site to find signs, photo prints, and much more. Let Poem's cutting-edge technology create unique products to help you add your personal touch to any space. Visit poemdesign.net to shop our catalog today.
Bucks football is presented by these fine sponsors: Bank Communications Cooperative, Shields, Pure Country, Runnings Farm and Fleet, Taco Del Mar, Gluten Property Management.
A great pump fake, and then 15 yards later, Bain for Munson. And Frisco goes back up by 1. Mark Munson has had himself a day. 4 catches, 97 yards, and 2 touchdowns. And he just gave his team the lead back. Bouncer that goes out of the end zone, away from Kerrigan. And with 16 seconds to go, Bismarck will come back out onto the field. They can run one more play if they'd like here to end the third quarter.
You know, one thing I think the Bucks need to be careful with is, I just have this feeling that Frisco's going to try to kick an onside kick one of these times. They're a team that's not afraid of doing that. You know, I don't know if the situation now, you know, doesn't call for it, you know, right now, but I just have a feeling that they're going to try to catch Bismarck off guard or maybe even kick a sniper.
Going to be a fun fourth quarter and a lot left to the side. 1 point ball game here in Bismarck. Down 1. Bismarck starting the fourth with the football.
When no one else is around. Champions get to work. They never rest. Never settle.
Power up your fun this summer with the $110,000 Power Payouts at Prairie Knights Casino. We're giving away $11,000 in cash plus comps and free slot play prizes every Sunday. Cash prizes up to $10,000. And all you need to do is play your favorite games to qualify. And don't miss Lance Burton, Master Magician and Friends live at the Prairie Knights Pavilion on July 17th. Prairie Knights Casino and Resort. Feel lucky tonight.
We welcome you back to the event center. Start of the fourth quarter on Beck, and it's brought to you by Farmers Union Insurance, Dakota Community Bank, West Dakota Chevy Dealers, Bell Bank, BASF, and Beck with the IFL Hall of Famer Robert Fuller, David Sugarman here in Bismarck, and what's been an absolute treat of a game, and we still got 15 minutes left. Bismarck trying to snap a 2-game losing streak in their first home game in over a month. And they've got every opportunity to do it. First down and 10 from the 5. Lewis back in at quarterback. Dials one up deep. And just through the hands of Kerrigan. Looks like he got some fingertips on it and couldn't hold on.
Yeah, I tell you what, Lewis, oh, he knows where he wants to go with that football, and it's just right there. That close.
Second down and 10 coming up. You like that play option coming out of the break, rather?
Oh yeah. Be aggressive. You got to take your shots. You know, again, this is still indoor football, and you know when you have those one-on-one matchups, I mean, you know, you got a pretty good guy out there in number 1 running that route. You know, don't be afraid to test him.
Bismarck uses their first timeout of the fourth quarter. We'll take a break. 14:27 left here in the ball game. Bucks down 1.
ID Chrysler, the official touchdown sponsor of the game.
We welcome you back to the broadcast. If you're just joining us, 34 seconds into the fourth and a 1-point ball game. Coach, Bismarck right in the thick of it right now. When you talk about the playoff standings, top 8 teams make it this season. They're 5th, have lost 2 in a row. At home, this feels like a game that they really need.
Yeah, I mean, you know, in the IFL, it's almost like it feels like every game is a game that you need, but, you know, they've got a tremendous opportunity here, and they definitely gain some ground here if they can get this win.
Second and 10, dials it up for Stokes, and he reaches out towards the sticks. Stokes was right at the marker. Officials call for third and very short.
And, you know, I like these simple play calls, just hitches, curls, just things that, you know, your quarterback can get rid of right away. And, you know, basically, you know, you could just call a formation and just say hitches. And basically you're throwing, you know, you're going to have somebody that, you know, has coverage that's over top of them. So somebody's going to be wide open.
2 new quarterbacks, a new center, a new wide receiver, all making their debuts today in Bismarck. In a tough fourth quarter right now, and a flag right at the snap.
Illegal snap. 51 offense, 5-yard penalty, replay the down.
Torrey Boyd, the new center we just mentioned, the Howard University product, whistled for the false start. Now instead of 3rd and 1, it'll be 3rd down and 6 from the 9-yard line.
These are things that just, they drive coaches crazy. You know, at this level of football, you know, just to have an issue with the snap is frustrating. You know, they go from a 3rd and 1 to now a 3rd and long 6. You know, you just can't have those type of mistakes.
3rd and 6, need to make it to their own 15. Lewis gets rid of it. Stokes just past the sticks. About an 8-yard pickup. Tell you what, JT Stokes knows how to help out his quarterbacks.
Yeah, these quarterbacks have some really, really nice receivers to work with. JT Stokes has just had a really nice season. He's put together a nice body of work, and that was just a clutch grab. And you know, if you watch that, just how fast Lewis's release is. It's kind of the same route that, you know, we saw earlier a number of times, and that ball is getting there in a hurry.
4 catches for 52 yards and a score for Stokes. Rakin taken down after a short pickup. Charles Williams in there on the stop. Williams played with the Storm on 2018 and 2019, part of one of those United Bowl teams.
Yeah, he's played for a long time at a high level. Now that you say that, it just occurred to me, you know, felt like I've seen him before, and now I know why.
Well, Coach, every week there's somebody you found out that you played for or coached or babysitted in this league, it feels like. 2nd down and 9. Lewis under pressure. And good job by Cameron Hilton to knock that down. They were looking for Rankin. 3rd down and 9 upcoming.
Yeah, they've gone to that well a few times, so nice job by Hilton just squatting on that, you know, and that was close. Just really nice coverage there. And, you know, we talk about all these reunions that I'm having. I have another one tonight with the Frisco defensive backs coach, James Romaine. Man, I love that guy. He was the last guy I signed in Fairbanks in 2011 from Delaware State. Went on to, now wait a second here.
3rd and 9, aims an arrow too high for Stokes. He wanted a flag, he may have gotten it. There is certainly laundry on the field.
Yeah, might have been held a little bit there, and Coach Romaine won't be happy with that. But
5-yard penalty and automatic 1st down.
So 5 yards and an automatic 1st down. The flag on Servell Ford.
Yeah, a little contact there early, but yeah, Romaine played for me in Fairbanks and then went with me to Green Bay and was his first team All-IFL both years. Then went to the Philadelphia Soul with Coach Dozell, where he just basically turned into one of the best defensive backs to play in the AFL. Was, you know, an All-AFL selection. Was the Defensive Player of the Year in 2019, and now he's here coaching his first year coaching with Frisco. And
Lewis did a good job of evading the pressure and threw it at the feet of Williams. 2nd down and 10. Feels like Frisco's getting in the backfield in a hurry.
Yeah, they're definitely bringing some heat here, but, you know, part of that is, you know, Lewis doesn't have somebody to throw to right away, so it's that secondary that's kind of starting to get locked in here, and they're starting to tighten up that coverage.
2nd down and 10. Bismarck working from their own 23. Lewis in the shotgun by his lonesome. Quick pass, great defense from Byron Edwards. In there to knock it away from Rankin.
Yeah, it almost has a feel like they're cutting these defensive backs loose and letting them attack. You know, it's a really nice job by the corner there, just reading that. He can see it a mile away.
So now it'll be 3rd down and 10. Bucks on their own 23. Lewis, who started the game 3 for 4, now 4 for 9. The southpaw lets it go, well short. Was hoping to hit Mike Kerrigan on the run. We've got a flag around the line of scrimmage. Seems like the theme of the day.
Yep. 5-yard penalty, down.
So the second illegal defense penalty of the drive. This one goes on Sione Tehema, the Southeastern Louisiana product, and head coach Clint Dalzell looked like he was about to rip his hair out. He's pretty frustrated with his group right now.
Yeah, I tell you what, you know, the way this season's going, you know, Coach Dalzell probably had to get some blood pressure medication this season. This has been one of those years, but it's just those little things like mental errors like that are really gonna upset a coach.
3rd down and 5. Lewis over the middle. Williams in and out of the bread baskets.
Oh boy.
Williams, who has made such an impact in his first 2 weeks with the Bucks, 4 touchdowns, should have had a 5th.
Couldn't have thrown any better of a football. You know, it got there with some velocity. You know, that could be a play that, you know, is a missed opportunity for Bismarck that changes the complexion of this game.
Now about halfway through this final quarter. 3rd down and 5. Bismarck needs to make it to the Frisco 17. Lewis with time. Quick one for Stokes. He picks up the 1st down. Stokes' 6th grab of the day.
Yeah, and when you need it, you know, you go to those veteran guys that have been producing for you. Stokes, just a nice job knowing that he's going to get hit, trying to make that catch on his knee, sliding backwards.
9 yards for Stokes. It'll be 1st down and 10 from the 13. Lewis with Rankin in the backfield. 2 touchdowns this half already. Couldn't get away from anybody that time. Williams, one of the first guys in there on the stop.
You know, Williams and company, they do, I mean, and you know, they've done a really nice job just all season long, playing physical, being aggressive, fighting off blocks. But, you know, if Bismarck's going to have the type of success that they need down the line, you know, they've got to have linemen that can maintain blocks, that can consistently get push, you know, that can keep their feet.
2nd and 10. Lewis, a rare keeper. And he picks up about 7 yards. Lewis, 6'5", 218. He certainly got the body for it, but don't see this a lot out of him.
Yeah, and that's one of the reasons that it works is, you know, you just don't expect that from him. Wasn't the prettiest, but it was productive. You know, got them into a manageable, you know, third and a long 4.
Officially marked 3rd down and 5 from the 8. Lewis lobs it for Rankin. And the yellow brick road was paved right to the end zone, making a hat trick in the 2nd half alone for Mr. Rankin.
Wow. I tell you what, our sight line was perfect because we're seeing what Lewis is seeing, and with the defensive lineman jumping up in the air, you know, he's throwing that football to an area knowing that Rankin's going to be there. That was a very impressive throw. Nice catch by Rankin.
Rankin's 3rd touchdown of the game, 1st receiving, extra points on the way. and on the money from Chemo. 5:30 on the money exactly to go. Bucks up by 6. Fighters getting the football back when we return.
Our family had problems with hydration, fatigue, and cramping that no product on the market could solve. We knew there had to be a solution, which led us to inventing Cramp Aid. Our elite athletes have reported up to an 80% reduction in water loss when using Cramp Aid compared to other sports drinks. Nature didn't make water colored, so neither does Cramp Aid. Our products contain all natural flavors and are dye-free. Cramp Aid helps your water take you further.
Cluton Property Management, the official game ball sponsor of the Bucks.
Lewis for Rankin, and Rankin's 3rd touchdown of the game, maybe his easiest. All coming here in the second half, and Bismarck goes ahead 42-36. Still plenty of time in this ball game. Coach, during the week, head coach for the Fighters, Clint Dalzell, said, I don't think I want to be in another close game, at least not coming up again. Getting a little bit stressful. However, he knows his team knows how to execute in these type of situations. All 7 Fighters games have been decided by 1 possession this season.
Yeah, and they've had a run of games in which they've won, where usually you don't see like that many in a full season where you have games like that, and I'm sure Coach would just love for his guys to blow one of them open so that he could actually, not have to be, completely on full tilt, until the last seconds of the game. But, hey, this is a position they've been in a bunch of times before, but at some point you're going to say, hey, we'll find a way to pull it out. But you keep putting yourself in these situations 1 time or 2 times or 3 times, you're not going to pull it out. So
last week, the Fighters didn't get the go-ahead touchdown for the win over Iowa until there was 3 seconds remaining. Gerard Hurd ran it in for the win, and then they capped it off by blocking a field goal and running it back to cap off a 42-35 win at home. The Fighters, the only team still with a perfect road record, 4-0, 5:30 to go, down 6. That is hanging in the balance. Chemo to kick, Rogers and Dullery to return. Through the hands of Rogers, in danger of a rouge. And the Bucks pick it up! The Bucks came screaming in on Rogers, and that's 1 more point, a rouge for the Bucks.
Get the ball out of the end zone. By rule, that is a 1-point rouge.
That's a great hustle play.
First down,
good strong kick, but just a super costly error there by Rogers.
First one in there was Dion Carter. They call him Neon Dion. He's known for his energy, his infectious personality, and he just made the lead a full touchdown. In a game like this, Coach, it's a cliche, but every point really does matter. Frisco, however, does keep the football.
Yeah, that was a play again. You start looking at that score. That was a big-time play.
Second time out of that.
Bismarck with the point, the momentum, and they take their second time out of the half. 5:23 to go. We'll step away.
ID Chrysler, the official touchdown sponsor of the game. Bet Connect, the official communications provider of the Bismarck Bucks. Bet Connect, the official replay sponsor of the Bismarck Bucks.
Bucks head coach Rod Miller, upset, had to come out and spend his second timeout of the half. Looked like the Bucks may have been out of position. First down and 10 from the 5 for the Fighters. Down 7, 5:23 to play. Aims an arrow, and Bain hits Munson near midfield, the first down, but a big game for Munson as he now goes over 100 yards. He's also got 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, they definitely saw that, you know, again, the last couple of weeks, you know, the Bucks have had a problem with those dig routes, and they're definitely taking advantage of that, you know, and just on the heels of Miller having to waste a timeout, you know, after an exchange of possession, you know, that's big.
Bain on the keepers, got room, and he slides near the chains. Good start to the drive for Frisco. 18-yard pitch and catch. And a 7-yard run for Bain on first down.
And so one thing that can lull you to sleep on defense is, you know, they're basically running a read concept, but you just don't expect Bain, you know, he can lull you to sleep. You don't expect him to keep the football, but he's an athlete. You know, he can run it.
2nd down and 3 from the 20. Bain, handoff, fumbled. Bucks recover. Turnover number 4 of the game for the Fighters.
And you could see right away with their timing was off and something bad was going to happen there.
Felton and Bain had trouble. John Williams recovers, and now Bismarck has a chance to deliver the definitive blow. 4:11 to go. Bismarck with the football. Frisco does have all 3 timeouts. If you're Bismarck, again, in the IFL, it's difficult to run out the clock. Do you start to just try and ground and pound, or do you stick with the balance that's worked for you today?
Well, the clock's going to keep running again for the next 3 minutes, so you just play football and try to possess the football. So, you know, you still throw it, but, you know, if you see some things, you know, you still got to, you know, don't play to not lose. You know, you got to play to win this game.
Hand off. Running room for Rankin. And a good pickup on first down of about 7.
Yeah, that definitely helps. You know, because again, now you're in a favorable, you know, you're ahead of the sticks, you know, you're in a 2nd and 3, which, you know, allows you to maybe give Rankin the ball again. It wouldn't be too hard to burn off, you know, another 2 minutes and 30 seconds, but more than anything, Bismarck needs to score on this drive.
Rankin, 9 carries for 36 yards, 2 scores. Most of that coming here in the second half. They give it to him again up the left side. Boudreau and Williams in there on the stop. Coming up on 3 minutes to go, and a big 3rd down coming up for the Bucks. Bismarck home for the first time since June 12th, trying to snap a 2-game slide. They are right in the thick of it in a tight playoff race. 5th in the standings, top 8 make it. However, a 3rd straight loss and headed to Tucson next week for a tough Sugar Skulls team is not the way to go. See if Bismarck can close out. 2.5 to go. Quick toss, and they get it to Kerrigan just past the sticks.
Wow. I'll tell you what, one thing that Lewis does extremely well is he gets rid of that football. Those hitches are fast.
Frisco has all 3 of their timeouts. Do you start to think about using them if you're Clint Dalzell?
I think, you know, right now you just play it out. You know, especially if you can keep Bismarck from getting a score here, holding them to a field goal, but you're gonna have to start thinking about it before too long. He's looking up at the clock right now.
Boudreau takes Rankin down by the ankles. Back to the line of scrimmage, maybe a yard for Rankin. And the clock continues to run. 35 seconds until a 1-minute warning. First ever meeting between Bismarck and Frisco. It has been a doozy. Locked at 22 at the half, 36-35 Frisco coming into the 4th. Oh, what a play action. And then Lewis gets pounded by Ford near the sticks, giving up his body. And Ford is still down. A wonderfully executed play. However, you hate to see this.
Yeah, that's not at all what you want to see your quarterback there. took a heck of a shot.
A good shot above the shoulders by Servell Ford. Lewis is still down right now. Second time this has happened today. We'll step away as the trainers tend to Caleb Lewis.
There are many gaming choices across the region, but why play games that don't reward you? Instead, join the Night Club, the Players Club at Prairie Nights Casino and Resort. When you use the Night Club card, you earn rewards like free slot play, comps, entries into big giveaways, great discounts, special offers, and more. And right now, you can get in on new member and referral bonuses. Like rewards? Join the club. The Night Club, only at Prairie Nights Casino and Resort. Feel lucky tonight.
Bucks football is presented by these fine sponsors: Blue Hot Mongolian Grill, Jiffy Lube, Hawk Tree Golf Course, Moss Adams, Premier Property, and Shields. Bucks football is presented by these fine sponsors: Action Motorsports, Bill Barth Ford, Glenn's Welding, H.A. Thompson & Sons, Taco Del Mar, and Veracity Motors. Bucks football is presented by these fine sponsors: Aramark, Dakota Community Bank and Trust, Dickinson State University, Torgerson Auto Center, Stone Home Brewing Company, and West River Chiropractic.
So the trainers just helped Caleb Lewis get up, and he's now walking off the field under his own power after this hit from Servell Ford. And Lewis, this is the second time he's had his bell rung today. Good to see him walk off under his own power. However, for the second time today, Kelly Bryant will come in at quarterback in a crucial spot for the Bucks. Right now, the clock will spin down to the 1 minute warning. Bucks up 43-36, trying to put the finishing touches on a home win.
We look forward to serving you here at your local community bank.
Turd Burglar, the official sponsor of the Deuce Rule.
Just past the 1 minute warning. Bismarck up 43-36, and they'll have third down upcoming, third down and short from their own, rather from the Fighters' 8-yard line. With the IFL Hall of Famer Robert Fuller, David Sugarman on hand for what's been a fantastic football game here in Bismarck, North Dakota today. Bucks doing what they can to close things out. They'll have to do it without their starting quarterback, though. Caleb Lewis just got his bell rung by Servell Ford, went out of the game, and Kelly Bryant is back in. Bryant's seen some time, though, today. 3 for 4 for 43 yards and a touchdown. Has also run the ball well. 3 carries for 17 yards. Frisco does have all 3 of their timeouts remaining. Bucks have just the 1. Third and short. Bryant tried to take it himself. Doesn't look like he got there. Great job by Williams and Hilton. And Frisco will use the timeout.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised that, he wasn't able to get that first down, but, that was a critical stop by Frisco, forcing fourth down. It's 4th and 1. And it's a long one.
if you're Bismarck, do you give any mind to just trying to kick a field goal with a new kicker, mind you, but at this point, a 10-point game has the potential to be the final blow?
Well, that's what they're going to do, but, you know, it's just, well, that's what they're thinking about doing, but just as inconsistent as their kicking game has been this year with basically chip shots and PATs and all of these things, I mean, it's the right call, it's the smart call, but man.
Nahu Chemo in there to kick. And the Bucks will use a timeout. Looked like they had Zarel Hendrick, a defensive back, lining up over the football, so maybe a little out of sorts. And Bismarck will use a timeout. 43-36, Bucks on top. And Coach, you really can't overstate how much this win would mean for Bismarck. Let's be frank, it's been a tough couple of weeks. Blown out at Sioux Falls, followed by the bye, and they were able to claw their way back into the game last week, but really got hit on the chin for the first couple of quarters against Massachusetts as well. A little bit of home cooking is exactly what the Bucks need, especially against a quality team like Frisco.
Yeah, and you know, the good thing is they showed some character and they showed some moxie in that loss to the Pirates, but again, you know, they were chasing points through missed PATs. Then they had to go for 2, you know, so they kind of took themselves out of a position at the end of the game to kick a field goal instead.
Nahu Chemo, first week as the kicker for the Bucks. And the kick is no good. The door is still ajar for the Fighters. 53 seconds.
The kick is wide right.
2 timeouts. And this is what the Fighters do. Every game for them has come down to 1 possession. And for the 8th straight week, it'll happen again. Coach, this Bismarck defense has been stellar today. They forced 4 turnovers against a team that does not turn the ball over. The question is, can they get one more stop?
Yeah, they could definitely get one more stop, but they definitely, I mean, goes without saying, it's pretty obvious. They need it here. You know, if they could stop Frisco and then, you know, do something with the football, they're going to win this game.
1st and 10 from the 5. Bain probing, home run ball. Was looking for Gerard Hurd, his backup quarterback, who's been playing mostly receiver today.
Yeah, that was, I'm surprised that I kind of felt like they should have gone to that a few more times earlier. Some bumping on the way down there. You know, thankfully for the Bucks, there's a no call there.
2nd and 10 for Bain. 9 for 14, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions today. Bain, plenty of time, and he's able to hit Manny Arsenault right at the sticks, and he gets past the 1st down marker, and the clock will stop.
You know, and this is something, again, you know, you're going to see this game clock work to perfection here. You know, they're not panicking with, you know, 40 seconds left. That's an eternity in indoor football, especially with coaches that know how to use it.
Still 2 timeouts for the Fighters from the 19. Bain all day again, dials one up over the middle. And Hurd makes it to the Bucks 20. Clock stops again.
Timeout here.
And Frisco elects to use their 2nd timeout, 26 seconds to go. 26 seconds to go. We'll step away.
Every day we rise, bend, twist, walk, run, doing the things we love. They are simple until they are not. If pain is holding you back from simple tasks like work, playing sports, or spending time with loved ones, West River can help you get the pain relief you need to enjoy the things you love. Take the step to a happier, healthier life by calling us today, or go online to westriverchiro.com. West River Chiropractic, family, wellness, athletics. We are proud to be the official team chiropractor of the Bismarck Bucks.
Cluton Properties, the official housing sponsor of the Bismarck Bucks.
Last week in the win over Iowa, Frisco had the go-ahead touchdown with 3 seconds to go. Now with 20 yards in between them and the end zone and 26 seconds, they're hoping to tie things up on the road. First down and 10. Bain. Sails too high for Hurd.
Second down.
Just looking to hit some out routes past the sticks there. A little bit too high.
Frisco, the lone team in the IFL with an undefeated record away from home. 4-0 away from Frisco, Texas. Their first year in the IFL. The Bucks 23 seconds away from snapping that.
And that statistic is so impressive. Just to be able to win games on the road in the IFL is really tough to do.
Second and 10. Bain towards the sideline. Arsenault knocked out at about the 10. 18 seconds to go. It'll be second down and shorts. A 9-yard pickup to the 11.
You know, one thing I'm going to say about this Bucks team, man, is they play hard, they get after it, you know, and they definitely deserve. One thing I sure hope that they see more of is they see more fans in the stands and they get more people out here, man, because this is a fun team to watch. They get after it, they're playing fun. You know, this is exciting football. 3rd and 1 from the 11.
Bain drops back, lobs it, end zone! We're an extra point away from potentially overtime. Gerard Hurd, the backup quarterback, helping out his starter. 11-yard score with 13 seconds to go. Ice in the veins.
They're going for 2 here.
The offense still out there right now for Clint Dalzell's club.
This is coming down to a 2-point conversion.
So Frisco uses their second timeout of the half to get exactly the right play. Coach, there's still going to be a couple seconds when Bismarck gets the football back, but this is essentially the ball game right here. What look do you expect from Frisco on this 2-point conversion?
Definitely, you know, they've had success with some crossing routes here, you know, so I could see some type of play action to the field. Maybe they're going to throw it back. You know, that's a pretty universal play in indoor football, but, you know, I definitely think some type of crossing action that's going to be quick hitting is probably where they're going to go.
Back and forth the entire game. We were locked at 22 at halftime. Frisco led by 1 coming into the 4th quarter. And a 2-point conversion will give them back that 1-point lead. Bain steps under center, Felton behind him. Bain. Flag on the field, throws it out of the back of the end zone. Hold on, though. We had a flag before the throw.
They're going to call holding. I think they're going to call holding on Bismarck.
Number 2 was inside the belt, but not marrying a receiver. Half the distance to the goal. Retry.
So Malik Duncan called for being inside the belt and not lined up with a receiver. Number 2 was on the opposite side of the field where the flag was thrown. And so after a defensive stand by Bismarck, they'll have to do it one more time. High drama here in Bismarck. Bain in the shotgun. Bain, Felton, he reaches. No signal.
Call him short.
Felton is short. Inches are the difference.
Frisco's gonna, obviously they're gonna challenge that.
The Fighters just threw out the challenge flag. And this is what it comes down to. Let's take a look on our All True Health Systems replay.
Going to see where his knee or elbow is down.
Difficult to overturn there. It was called no score on the field. The question is, did the football pass the goal line, break the crease as it were, prior to the elbow or knee of Felton being down? This is essentially what it'll come down to. Either way, Bismarck will get it back with 13 seconds. Take another look here on the Bet Connect Challenge replay.
And this is a great play call. They're going to collision the safety and just run a slant right underneath them. And look at his elbow here. You know, is that ball across the line of scrimmage when his elbow touches the ground?
Always important to keep in mind, it has to be definitive. And from this angle, it certainly seems like the elbow drops on maybe the half-yard line or so before the football crosses. It is that close. The difference between a 5-0 record on the road for Frisco and Bismarck going back above 500. Say what you want about Frisco. No one will say that they don't have guts. Could have easily played for overtime with an extra points. Instead, they went for the win here on the road. Would have you gone with the same philosophy, Coach?
Well, here's the thing. I'm never going to question a Clint Dozell call.
The runner's elbow was down with the ball short of the goal line. The try, no good. It is confirmed.
The call stands. Bismarck comes up with not one, but 2 stops on the 2-point conversion. Frisco got a second chance after the Malik Duncan illegal defense call. Now, you know Frisco, you mentioned it, that they were probably going to have an onside kick in the 4th quarter. I think you were leaning towards the element of surprise.
Yeah.
Not a big surprise here.
Yeah.
How does Bismarck need to line up?
Well, just like they're doing right now, if you look at their lineup, they've got basically three linemen down there that are going to collision. They're going to collision the Rams. And Frisco's switched their lineup. So if you look, basically Bismarck's got 3 defensive linemen. They're going to go in collision. The Frisco defenders, or Frisco kickoff team.
Christoph Martinez in there to kick. Bucks recovered an onside kick of their own last week in Massachusetts. Nobody back deep for Bismarck. And Martinez elects to kick it deep, and it went off part of the ceiling here that part of the lighting equipment they use for concerts here at the event center. Seemed like they were hoping to kick it deep and seeing if they could beat Bismarck down the field. Ball went out of play, so it'll be put down at the 20-yard line. Bucks essentially have to run one play. Frisco does have one timeout. And keep in mind, you are not allowed to take a knee when you have the lead. So the Bucks have to run a play and have to pick up positive yardage for the clock to continue to run. Kelly Bryant back in there at quarterback after Lewis was shaken up on the last drive. And a smart play by Bryant, just plows ahead for a yard or two. And Frisco will use, no they won't.
They're done.
Fighters elect not to use their final timeout, and the Bucks escape with the slimmest of margins.
Wow, Bismarck. Look at that emotion right there. That sums it up. Sterling Clark, the heart and soul of the Bucks, the emotional leader.
Sterling Clark and the Bucks get out with a win, snap a 2-game slide, 43-42 against the second best team in the league. We'll step away, come back with our play of the game.
when no one else is around. Champions get to work. They never rest. Never settle.
Power up your fun this summer with the $110,000 Power Payouts at Prairie Knights Casino. We're giving away $11,000 in cash plus comps and free slot play prizes every Sunday. Cash prizes up to $10,000. And all you need to do is play your favorite games to qualify. And don't miss Lance Burton, Master Magician and Friends live at the Prairie Knights Pavilion on July 17th. Prairie Knights Casino and Resort. Feel lucky tonight.
What I enjoy most about working with ID is the team that we've built. I love the people that I work with. We spend a lot of time in this building, so the people in this building have become my family. We hang out at work, we hang out outside of work, and it's a great family atmosphere here, and that's what I enjoy the most. If you're not doing something that you enjoy doing, then don't do it at all.
Poem Design is your shop for specialized and meaningful home decor. Nothing makes a house a home like personalized designs that celebrate your milestones and tells your family's unique story. Check out our e-commerce site to find signs, photo prints, and much more. Let Poem's cutting-edge technology create unique products to help you add your personal touch to any space. Visit poemdesign.net to shop our catalog today.
First home game in over a month, running back Justin Rankin made sure to put on a show in the Bucks' return. He's our player of the game, 12 carries, 42 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Also caught an 8-yard touchdown in the second half. He was fantastic today, Coach.
Yeah, and he did it, on the ground, through the air, just gave his team what his team needed to win.
11 games into the season, Bismarck 5th in the standings right now, in perfect position to secure a playoff spot over the final several weeks of the season. Still work to do, but the Bucks can breathe easy and celebrate tonight. A 43-42 win over the Frisco Fighters. That'll do it for us here in Bismarck from the event center. For our entire Beck Sports crew, camera operators Chris Clayton, Patrick Conte, and Jesse Schwab, our graphics operator Cole Waletzko, and of course our wonderful director Ryan Bradley, and my broadcast partner Robert Fuller. I'm David Sugarman saying so long from Bismarck. The Bucks improved to 6-5 with a win over the now 6-2 Frisco Fighters, 43-42.
Thank you for watching this presentation of the Beck Broadcasting Network. We now return you to the network's programming already in progress.
Bucks football is presented by these fine sponsors: Aramark, Dakota Community Bank and Trust, Dickinson State University, Torger Sonato Center, Stone Home Brewing Company, and West River Chiropractic.